Colorado Buffaloes and Fresno State Bulldogs have journeyed to Oahu, Hawaiian for the gathering place. The Hawaiian Islands are the product of Mother Nature's unyielding forces some 25 million years ago. The Hawaiian war chant and its rhythmic beat echo the tradition and spirit of proud and native warriors. The goal is to capture that dauntless spirit. Today, Colorado and Fresno State will pierce the peaceful Pacific sunrise in the Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl. ABC Sports College Football is proud to present the 1993 Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl, featuring the Fresno State Bulldogs from the Western Athletic Conference and the Colorado Buffaloes out of the Big 8 Conference. And, hey, Santa Claus got delayed by a snowstorm somewhere over Canada, but he has finally made it to the shores of Waikiki Beach. Aloha from Aloha Stadium. We're glad that you dropped in to share your Christmas Day with us, Hawaiian style. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Jones in the house, along with Tim Brandt. From all of us here at ABC to all of you at home, Mele Kaliki Maka. It means Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year as well.
This is fun, isn't it?
Gotta love this. Tim, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, Mark.
Tim, let's start off with Fresno State in this ball game. They come in with a record of 8-3, and this is their chance to steal the national spotlight just a bit.
Yeah, I believe that, Mark. Fresno State does come in as a heavy underdog. As a matter of fact, this is a very quick team, and the 3 losses were by a total of 9 points. Cannot be underestimated. FSU is coached by Jim Sweeney. He is a big-time coach, and folks, he has big-time talent. Like quarterback Trent Dilfer, a strong-arm guy who has now thrown 271 straight passes without an interception. Now, Dilfer is one of the best pro prospects in the nation. I think he's going to come out early and go to the NFL. He also has a great receiving core, the best in the West. He'll complete those passes to 7 or 8 different guys, including this one, Ron Rivers' tailback. Rivers ran for over 1,400 yards this year.
The Colorado team, meanwhile, on the other side of the ball, coming in with a record of 7-3-1. A bit of a disappointing season for them, but they feel they have something to prove today.
Well, if you look at their record, though, those 3 losses were all by less than 7 points each. Now, this is a strong ball club. The Buffaloes are coached by Bill McCartney. He's the winningest coach in school history there. He, too, has an outstanding quarterback. The guy's name, Cordell Stewart. Stewart has produced nearly 4,000 yards of offense at CU. Colorado's 15-3-1 with Cordell Stewart as the starter. But Colorado is a better balanced team this year. They run, they pass. I think the key for FSU is containment. You can see here by this video, he has quick feet and that escapability. The #1 receiver, Charles Johnson, all-purpose guy, All-American, led the Big 8, was 6th in the nation in receiving. But the most impressive aspect of his game, he picks up 20 yards every time he touches the football. Now, there have been some problems with Colorado. Suspended players. Dwayne Davis got into a fight against Iowa State in the finale of the season. He was suspended. Dennis Collier, another defensive back, he returned late from Thanksgiving. He's not here. Greg Lindsey's not here. So the defense is a little bit suspect, and that's going against Trent Dilfer.
And those players missing out on some fantastic weather, although there are some clouds that have just rolled in. In Boulder, it's 50. In Fresno, just 34. We'll be back with the kickoff in a minute, but first, some words from the governor.
Merry Christmas and aloha. I'm Governor John Waihee, and I have the pleasure on behalf of the people of Hawaii of extending our warmest holiday greetings to all of you. We are delighted that ABC Sports is telecasting this 12th annual Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl. As you join family and friends to watch the hard-hitting Colorado team take on the Bulldogs of Fresno State, know that we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Or as we say in Hawaii, Mele Kaliki Maka and Hau'ole Makahiki Ho.
Tom O'Keefe is in the grip of a really tough cold, but he's about to break free with an effervescent rush of relief. Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine. Pills take time to dissolve, but Alka-Seltzer Plus is ready the moment you take it, rushing powerful medicines to soothe your aches, relieve your runny nose, free your breathing. Nothing rushes relief like Alka-Seltzer Plus.
Every day, we all find a way. A promise made, a promise kept, giving it our best.
Napa, we're the most complete source for auto parts. And all Napa parts are backed by a nationwide warranty program. No wonder more Americans trust Napa to keep their vehicles running.
We keep America running. We keep America running.
ABC Sports coverage of the 1993 Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl. Brought to you by Jeep and Eagle, a division of the Chrysler Corporation. Dollar Rent-A-Car, right on the airport, right on the money. Sheraton Hotels in Waikiki, in celebration of Aloha. And State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor. State Farm is there.
Nobody, I mean nobody, works harder than St. Nick on this day. Santa Claus dropping in with a game ball now.
Ho, ho, ho!
St. Nick working tirelessly.
Oh, dear, dear, dear.
All right, now another member of our broadcast crew with a story on the game ball. Jack Arute. Jack, what's up?
Well, Mark, Santa may have the game ball now, but the game ball for this year's Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl made its way first from California in a very unusual way here to Honolulu, Hawaii. It all started with a series of volunteers who rode their bicycles with the ball strapped to the front handlebars. They traversed 14 states, over 4,000 miles, trying to raise awareness and funds for Special Olympics. They stopped at over 280 cities, and it all culminated in Orlando, Florida, when Eunice Kennedy Shriver and her husband, Sergeant Shriver, signed the game ball for the 25th anniversary of the Special Olympics. And now Santa Claus brings the ball here to Honolulu and Aloha Stadium. Let's go back up to you.
An absolutely perfect landing by St. Nick, too. Did you see that, Tim? Did not miss a step.
He's got those quick feet, great escapability.
Santa Claus, a former DB, I think. So many good causes associated with this Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl. We have an all Pac-10 officiating crew today, and the head referee is Pat Flood, and he is joined downstairs for the coin toss by Larry Ranka, the market plans manager of the Jeep Eagle division of the Chrysler Corporation.
We've got Larry Ranka here. He's going to toss the coin. Who's going to call it for Fresno? Captain Hartman, you call it while it's in the air. Right. Tails. Tails, you call tails. It is tails. Fresno, you've won the toss. Take the ball. You want the ball. All right. We'll go with you, defend. You guys will turn around this way, please. Fresno State will receive. Let's go, guys.
Okay, so Fresno State will receive the opening kickoff. Tim, this game important for varying reasons for the respective teams.
Well, I think it's important for varying reasons, but I also think it's going to be a high-scoring game. One scores 40 points, the other scores over 30 points. That's Fresno State with the 40 points. And we caught up with both coaches out on the beach this week. We asked them what kind of game they expect.
What we have to do offensively is to establish some kind of running game to slow down the pass rush, which we know Colorado is going to be trying to put a tough rush on Dilfer. If we can run the football successfully, it's going to help our passing game a great deal. Defensively, I'm worried about their option game with the quarterback, Stewart, being as great a runner he is. Forces you to play an 8-man front and to get out of double coverage on those wide receivers. If you can't double cover them, it might be a long afternoon.
What we need to do on offense to win this game is score touchdowns, not field goals. When we get down there, we can't settle for 3. What we need to do on defense is, for 4 quarters, keep pressure on Dilfer. We can't let him stand there and throw the ball.
Fresno State against Colorado, 8-3 against 7-3-1. Getting set for the opening kickoff, Mark Jones along with Tim Brandt and Jack Arute. And Mitch Berger is teeing it up for Colorado. Berger, you can see, wearing a protective unit on his right hand. He broke his thumb a couple of weeks ago and recently had that cast removed.
I think one of the big things here early is the fact that Fresno State has to be very confident. They're 0-2 against Big 8 teams at FSU.
They lost to Colorado in 1988 by a score of 45-3. Back deep, number 11, David Dunn for Fresno State. Remember, in last year's game, the opening kick was run back for a touchdown. Dunn 3 yards deep. He's going to take it out. Dunn tries running it right up the middle, and he's tackled at the 17-yard line by the Buffaloes' Darryl Price, number 95. And here's a look at the quarterback, the guy we talked about in the opening. That rating is the 3rd highest all-time in NCAA history. Trent Dilfer, 6'5", 230 pounds. He's a big guy. He has to struggle to keep his weight down.
Well, he was struggling a little bit in warm-ups too, Mark. I think the adrenaline flow was going, and he couldn't get his passes down. They were sailing on him.
I'll look at the backs and the receivers. Rivers, Mexico, Titus Winans, a dangerous receiver, along with Charlie Jones and David Dunn starting at tight end. They've been racked up at the tight end position.
Well, all their tight ends got hurt. Arnold, Koenig, Hall, they all got hurt, so now they moved Dunn into that spot.
Jim Sweeney, very innovative on offense, so he's making the necessary adjustments. Out of the shotgun on 1st and 10. Play action, Dunn complete over the middle for a first down at the 31-yard line. And Dunn excited about it, telling the Colorado players about it. A pickup of 13 yards and a first down. A look at the offensive line for Fresno State. Collins, Calderon, Jason James, Russ Hartman, and Kenny Hall. And look at those career starts.
Well, and that's important, too. This line has been together all year. You've got 3 seniors, 2 juniors. They play together. It's a balanced run and pass offense, and so they've got to be skilled, and they have been.
Dilfer connecting on his first pass.
And no tight end out of this formation.
They hand it off on first down. That's Ron Rivers, a 5'9", 195-pound senior for a gain of maybe 1, tackled by Sam Rogers. Let's meet this Colorado defensive front. They're a little shallow. They only brought along 5 defensive down linemen. Lavelle, Kerry Hicks, along with Darius Holland. The linebackers, Ron Woolford, all Big 8, Matt Russell, Ted Johnson, and Sam Rogers. In the secondary, Simmons and Enriquez on the corners, along with Wilkins and Hudson inside.
Told you about Dwayne Davis not being here. Collier's not here. And now we get word that Chris Hudson has the flu, so he's playing but not feeling well.
Second down, play action, Dilfer. Wide open to David Dunn at the 44-yard line. Another first down in his 2nd reception of the game. And another pickup of 13 yards. So Dilfer, Tim, on target early.
Well, he's shown a lot of touch. We talked about how he struggled in warm-ups. He evidently has just lightened things up. Watch him drop. He gets plenty of protection here. There's no question he's looking to the right side. But here comes his man now and clears. He's locked on him right away. Puts it up nicely. And Dunn, who's 6'3", has his advantage over the shorter defensive back there. Here's a junior college signee who was really added to this offense, Dunn.
Dunn came into the game with 21 receptions for 255 yards on the season. Rivers on the draw. He makes it up to the 45-yard line, tackled by Ted Johnson, the inside linebacker, a 6'4", 235-pound junior. We're looking at Jim Sweeney, the head coach, 5-1 in bowl games. I don't think I've met a coach that is more loved by his players, Tim.
Well, he keeps everybody so loose, but yesterday you could see a noticeable change. He was trying to get more serious, get all the players more focused in, and say, we've got a great opportunity here to get some national recognition for Fresno State. This is it. Let's get serious about it.
A gain of 1 on first down, setting up 2nd down and 9 for Fresno State. Just underway here in the first quarter of the Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl. Dilfer to pass. Hits the out pattern, complete for the first down to number 6, Lee Harris.
Lee Harris, another one of those solid guys. He's a senior. They say he's probably the most solid of all the receivers. 31 catches. Watch his move now. He knows how to separate from the defender. It's a nice move on Mitchell. Goes by him, says, if I'm even, I'm leaving. Now watch him go up for the ball. Mitchell's 5'10". Harris 6'2". He used that height advantage and made the catch. You know, his uncle Dale Morris, a former front office guy for the Washington Redskins. Now works for American Airlines.
Harris out of Fresno, California. One of the locals deciding to stay home and happy about it, too. Dilfer 3 for 3. Total of 44 yards. Looking for 4 for 4. And he doesn't get it. Look for Dunn again, but he misinterpreted that one and fires incomplete. Bill McCartney in his 12th year as head coach. Just 1-6 in bowl games.
Oh, that's right. He has a national title in his pocket, so he won the big one. But he really has struggled in bowl games, and he's trying to change that.
3 Big 8 titles. Bill McCartney, a man of conviction.
You know, people look at this game, and they say Colorado Colorado, Fresno State. Well, Colorado should win that game, just by name. Fresno State went into the bowl, and the same thing happened last year against Southern Cal. Fresno State beat them pretty well.
That's a fact not lost on the Colorado players. Dilfer is sacked, and the ball's loose.
That's a fumble.
Colorado says they have it. Chris Hudson ripped it away, and the Buffaloes have the ball at midfield. Chris Hudson made the recovery as well.
Yeah, they said Hudson wasn't feeling well. He had a fever when he woke up, but watch this. Dilfer drops, takes too much time. They come with a safety blitz from the outside. There's 47 Hudson. He not only strips it, but he gets down on it and recovers it. Pretty good battle down on the ground. Big-time play and turnover for Colorado.
Colorado, as we see right there, number 4 in the country in turnover margin. Fresno State on the other side, number 2. Cordell Stewart hands it off to Rashawn Salam on 1st and 10. Salam over the 50, down to the 47, tackled by Demetrius Edwards. Cordell Stewart is from Marrero, Louisiana. He's 6'3", 210 pounds, a junior. He is Colorado's all-time leading passer and 2nd in all-purpose yardage. We saw him play earlier this season against Nebraska, had one of his poorer days, but said he was ready to bounce back today. Backs out of the eye this time. Salam again. Brought down at the line of scrimmage. A good surge that time on the right side by Fresno State. Gene Smith leading the way. Look at the backs and the receivers now for the Buffaloes. Salam, Charles Johnson, Michael Westbrook, maybe the best pair of receivers in the country. Christian Fourier, very much underrated at tight end, along with Sean Embry. On the offensive line, Birdie, Irwin, Stoltenberg, Naoli, and Derek West.
Interesting little twist as you look at that starting lineup, though. Sean Embry wasn't in there. They had Salam and Hill. Hill jumped in the place of Embry. So it was a 1 tight end set. Little change up for the Buffaloes.
One thing we haven't mentioned, Tim, is that Fresno State has had some trouble in the past stopping the option. 2 tight ends in this time for the Buffaloes. Stewart passing. Ruled complete at the 42. That's Christian Fourier, the tight end I was just talking about. 6'4", 235 pounds, tackled by Gene Smith.
I think Christian Fourier is the best tight end I saw all year. You mentioned his size. He's 6'4", 235. He's just a junior. He had 30 receptions. Struggled a little bit in the midseason with a bad groin pull, but I'm telling you, he blocks well, he catches well, and runs extremely well for that size.
Yeah, Tim, a lot of his yardage will come after he catches the ball sometimes.
Colorado already given a bench warning for being outside of the team area.
Salam on 1st down, a gaping hole over the right side, and he's down to the 31-yard line. Let's take a look at the Fresno State defensive lineup. Up front, it's Chris Rockwell, Demetrius Edwards, and Brad Bell. Linebackers Smith, Deshay, Peters, and Papazian, the leading tackler. And in the secondary, a very good secondary, covering man-to-man. Burton and Jones on the corners, Watson and Thomas inside.
Those will be the guys to watch to the corners, Burton and Jones, because I think they're going to blitz a little bit. They're going to put some pressure, maybe load up 8-man front like they're doing here. And, well, actually, now they back off in a pass coverage. 1st down.
A look at the offset eye here for Colorado. Hill in the backfield with Salam. Play action. Stewart is dangerous in the open field, and he shows you right there. Out of bounds at the 13. Cordell Stewart rushed for 524 yards this year, and he tacks on some more to that total right there. 19 to be exact.
When you play against a guy like this, you have to be contained conscious. Somebody's got to have blood control, keep the outside leverage. Obviously, they don't here. You can see everybody on the right side there gets caught inside, and Cordell gets the corner. There is no way that should happen.
The nose of the ball on the 11-yard line. This is Colorado's opening drive of the ball game after recovering the fumble. Westbrook and Johnson split to the bottom of the field. They option it to the short side. Stewart run out of bounds at the 9-yard line by Gene Smith, number 13.
No, it was played well. See, Gene Smith had the responsibility of taking the cornerback, or the quarterback rather, and then they had the DB come up on the pitch man, so everybody was covered. Cordell did the only thing he could do is just try to get a couple of yards out of it.
Colorado has been very efficient in the red zone in 1993.
83% is not bad, but look, the most important thing about that, the 28 touchdowns, majority of them.
Hill and Salam out of the eye. Westbrook split wide. They hand it off to Salam, trying to get to the corner. Cuts it inside and is down to the 2-yard line. Chris Rockwell finally making the tackle. Colorado is inside the 5.
Right now, Colorado just using its big, strong line to open up holes or overpowering a smaller Fresno State team. Fresno State has to move. They've got to give Cordell Stewart bad reads. They've got to slant. They've got to stem, because they have to do this finesse-wise. They're not going to overpower a bigger, stronger Colorado team. They're outmanned. They're overmatched. They have to do it with quickness, and so far, they're being manhandled.
All right, Tim, T.J. Cunningham checking into the game. The backside of the eye again. It's Hill and Salam. 2 tight end formation. Salam. Touchdown, Buffaloes. Rashawn Salam puts Colorado up 6-0.
Salam played 8-man football in high school, was a first-team All-American. We saw him. He had 165 yards against Nebraska. Outstanding player.
Mitch Berger in for the extra point, and it's good. Nothing pretty about that opening drive. Just straight ahead, strong running, and Rashawn Salam puts the Buffaloes up on Christmas Day. Stay with us.
25 years the club's been taking this vacation. Maybe it should have been 24.
Welcome to Dollar. Something in a full size?
As long as there's room for my hog.
Or as much room as you need. Rent from Dollar. They're right on the airport, right on the money.
All right, everybody, hands on the wheel at 10
Call your travel agent or 1-800-800-4000.
After most meals and snacks, plaque pH can fall to levels where acid starts attacking teeth. These attacks can last up to 2 hours, increasing the risk of damage to your tooth enamel. That's when chewing extra sugar-free gum can help. When you chew for 20 minutes, the chewing action produces and distributes more of your mouth's natural defense, saliva, which helps neutralize acid within minutes. So in addition to regular dental care, after eating, chew Wrigley's extra sugar-free gum, because chewing helps nature fight the acid attack.
Now, to each man who shaves, there's an edge all his own. Only Edge Gel has 8 custom formulas to fit every shaving need. From tough beards to sensitive skin, for a close, comfortable shave, get an edge of your own. Edge Gel, skincare for men. Ultimate closeness, ultimate comfort. That's the edge.
The challenge is set.
We are going to win. Oh, the boys are going to win. They're young boys. Peachy said we were going to win. I got to go with him.
The Wendy's 3-Tour Challenge on ABC.
Everybody wants to be an entertainer, huh? Malcolm Seabrun back deep to receive the kickoff. Seabrun has been banged up during the course of the year, missed a few games. He's healthy for this one.
You know, in the last 16 games, Colorado has scored first. When they do, they're 15-0-1.
Berger's kip deep into the end zone. Seabrun thinks about it. And we'll take it on the 20-yard line. Downstairs to Jack Arute. Jack, what's up?
Well, Mark, FSU's head coach Jim Sweeney has got 29 years of head coaching experience. And when we asked him who he tried to pattern himself after, he said it was after the late, great Bear Bryant. But he says this year he quit 2 daily routines that he learned from Bryant. One was taking naps. He says, I don't need to. I feel re-energized. But the more important one was he says he quit coaching from the tower. This year he gets down in the field. He works throughout practice. In fact, he uses a golf cart. He wreaks havoc down in the field. In fact, they had to actually rent a golf cart over here for practices.
He is not short on energy, like he said, Jack. That's for sure. Dilfer hands it off on first down to Ron Rivers. Rivers out to the 22 where he's bang tackled by a host of Colorado players led by Ron Woolfork.
Boy, Darius Holland, number 93, gave him a workout, too.
Colorado, number 56, Ron Woolfork.
Right now, Dilfer 3 for 4, 44 yards, but he had that big fumble, and he kept the ball out there in front of Hudson on the safety blitz, and Hudson took it away from him, and Colorado made him pay, scored right away.
Up to that point, though, Tim, they were moving the ball efficiently, though.
The least points that Fresno State has scored in a game this year, 28. So you know, or you fully expect them to score a lot of points.
Dilfer play action on 2nd and 8. Completes it to Malcolm Seabrun at the 35 and a first down for the Bulldogs. And a nice pattern, got open and picked up 14 yards. He was tackled by number 20, Kenny Wilkins, and Eric Mitchell.
FSU came into this ball game telling Dilfer we're going to work on that secondary. Collier's not here. Davis is not here. Hudson's not feeling well. We're going to test some of these guys, Enriquez and Wilkins and Simmons. We're going to test them. We're going to see how good they are. They haven't gotten all the reps, all the playing time they should have this year because of the other guys. So now they're finding the dead spots where the air is in that secondary.
Nose of the ball just crossing the 35-yard line. 7:56 to play in the first quarter. The Buffaloes lead 7-0. Dilfer over the middle to Dunn. Juggles it, hangs onto it, and is down at the 41-yard line. Tackled by Sam Rogers.
Well, I'll tell you something, Mark, they are moving it. Right here, it's a 2-deep zone under. Well, Dilfer reads that and goes underneath, finds his man, but this is an outstanding catch by Dunn. Look at the concentration to come back for the football.
David Dunn out of Sacramento, California. You can't miss him on the field. He's the guy with the long ponytail out the back of his helmet.
Number 3 offense in the nation. 533 yards a game and 40 points.
2nd down and 4. A little waggle here. Complete to David Dunn. David Dunn seeing a lot of action here.
That's his 4th reception.
Well, Monday night, it's a rematch of last year's AFC divisional playoffs. The Miami Dolphins battling for a spot in the postseason playoff pool invade San Diego to take on the Chargers. Line at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC's Monday Night Football.
Dolphins were rolling along even without Marino.
Scott Mitchell was doing it good.
Well, then they stumbled a little bit. They wanted that title instead of Buffalo.
Ball at the 48 for Fresno State. A blitz by Sam Rogers. Dilfer gets rid of it and wisely throws it out of bounds. Rogers with the blitz and the pressure. He was selected the defensive MVP for Colorado.
277 passes without an interception. I thought he was going to get one here only because once he got locked up right here by Rogers, look, he just throws it up for grabs, just threw it barely enough to get it out of bounds.
It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Fresno State. Dilfer, we mentioned, struggled with the bout with the flu over the course of the week.
A lot of the Colorado players had that.
Inside to Jamie Christian, seeing his first play of the afternoon. Number 31. He's the nephew of Dennis Erickson, the head coach at Miami. Tackled by Maurice Enriquez. That sets up 3rd down and 4. Christian is the guy they figure will give them much better blocking from that fullback spot. Daigle and Christian out of the eye. Out of the backfield. Overthrown. He tried to find Anthony Daigle, and it's incomplete, setting up 3rd down and 4.
Well, he had to throw it high. Rogers was coming, and he's 6'3", got his hands up high and actually jumped, and Dilfer had to throw over him.
Let me scratch that. It's 4th down, and the Bulldogs will punt.
You know, Fresno State has punted just 29 times this year. That's it.
And into punt is Derek Mahoney from Fountain Valley, California, a 4-year starter. Standing on his own 10 is Chris Hudson for Colorado. Mahoney hangs it up high. This will land inside the 10. Can they down it? Well, it bounces back the wrong way for Fresno State, and it's down to the 16-yard line. Come on, it's more exciting than that. 7-0, the Buffaloes lead.
could you tell me how to get to Bakersville?
Sure. You take this road to Highway 24 north, then you pick up M34 east, you follow it around the foothills to I-14 south, and you take exit 27B, follow the signs, and you're there.
Thanks.
You bet.
Excuse me, can you tell me how to get to Bakersville?
Sure. Head right over those mountains.
Great, thanks.
Today, a woman needs a life insurance plan of her own.
State Farm sells life insurance from an agent who's there for you today and there tomorrow, too. You see, we start you out right with a plan specifically designed for a woman's needs. One that protects the people who count on you for so very much. And the State Farm agent will be there tomorrow, too, as your life changes, to keep that plan working for the people you love.
State Farm sells life insurance.
Hi, this is Jim and June Sweeney from Fresno State University on the beach at Waikiki with our family. And we'd like to wish Bulldog families every place a bright and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Mele Kaliki Maka. Hey, go Dogs! Hey!
Doesn't spend all his time on the football field. That's a big family, I'm telling you. He recruited half those people to come over here.
I hope he's not beating all those moms.
What a terrific guy and a nice family.
And time for him to come up with a little bit of strategy to slow down Colorado offensively. Michael Westbrook in motion to the top of your screen. They hand it off to Salam. Had a lot of success on that opening drive. He runs this one out to the 25-yard line. Tackled by Ron Papazian, the team's leading tackler for Fresno State.
I'm going to tell you right now, unless something changes, FSU is not going to be able to stop Colorado. That offensive line is just blowing Fresno State out of there. That time they pulled the guard, they ran a little counter, and Naoli just took his guy about 10 yards back downfield. Just blew him out.
Colorado first in total offense in the Big 8. And look at that discrepancy in rushing yardage so far. Salam and Hill in the backfield out of the offset eye. Play action, Stewart. Good ball handling. He has Charles Johnson. And the safety comes over to break it up nicely.
Lance Thomas almost had the interception, got a hand on it. And even after he fell, the ball came down to his chest, and he almost had it. First of all, watch Cordell Stewart and the way he handles the football. They call this the king set. Now watch this. Here's the fake to Salam. Now look, the ball's still right down on his hip, and he's throwing it up deep. Now, watch Lance Thomas, number 30, get a hand on it, fall, still have a chance at the interception. He thinks he probably should have. Look at this. This is tremendous faking ability by Cordell Stewart. And he's in no hurry.
Cordell, you can see right there, wearing a protective bit of padding on his left wrist. He had surgery on that earlier in the year. Salam on the run, trying the left side, and he's tackled at the 28-yard line by Sam Watson, number 7. Watson out of Los Angeles, California. He's a transfer from right here at the University of Hawaii, and there's a look at that wrist padding on Cordell Stewart.
Heard that after the Missouri game, got the cast on. I said, Cordell, how can you wear a cast? He said, well, I wear a glove, and I put the little white Band-Aid around it, kind of lock that thing in. Nobody even knows there's a cast under there. Says it doesn't bother him either.
2 tight ends in. Salam again, and another gaping hole. Rashawn Salam, the first team All-Big Ten running back, picks up 23 yards before finally being brought down by Jones and Thomas.
Opening up gaping holes right now. It is a total mismatch. This is all Colorado. Look at this now. First of all, look at the hole he's going through. The little cut to the right, huge hole. Then he gets into the secondary. Now he's going to use that 210 pounds against these secondary guys. First he goes up against Thomas, who's 180. Then he gets some help over there from Jones, who's 170. And he picks up the big yardage. Well, he now has 8 carries, 61 yards. Salam.
Salam's father played in the old American Football League.
Harold Washington. Now it's Fulton Salam.
Stewart to pass. Brings it down, and then he tried to find Fourier. Pump faked, and Fourier started to go upfield, so they got cross signals, and it's incomplete. Nice crowd on hand here this afternoon.
Cordell Stewart just 1 for 3, 5 yards, but so far Colorado has not had to throw. If anything, it's just an attention getter to let Fresno State say, hey, we're going to throw it every once in a while. But right now they're just running, and it's been a mismatch.
Well, running is still very much the identity of the Big 8 Conference.
This is not a surprise for the defensive coordinators and defensive coaches at FSU. They knew that they were overmatched, so they were going to try to stem and slant and try to finesse them and use their quickness.
Salam running again, picks up a chunk of 4 that time up the middle. Little dive play and some extracurricular activity, and Cordell Stewart is down back at the 42-yard line. He's not getting up.
There's a flag there too, Mark, and it's going to be against Fresno State.
For Colorado's sake, you'd hope that he can continue because he's extremely talented and a big part of their offense.
Let's take a look at it now. Here it is, the handoff to Salam. The ball is well gone now, and here comes the hit. The good news is it's high enough where it's not going to affect his legs. Bad news is they're still working on him. I hope it's just the wind knocked out of him. There's Statmeyer. He's the guy that made the hit, the late hit. The flag was thrown on him.
Stoutmeyer did a good job filling in for Sam Watson earlier in the season, and he pushed Watson in order to get his job back.
Let me tell you something about Stoutmeyer. Guy is young. He's a good active safety. He bench presses 400 pounds. He's got a 41-inch vertical leap, and he's got 4.4 speed.
So it's a personal foul. And you're looking at the backup quarterback, Vance Joseph, whose brother Mickey Joseph played at Nebraska a few years back.
Yeah, but Cordell's okay. Cordell there walking off the field. He went and slapped a couple of guys and told them, let's go. He's got to come out for a play.
Hey, Tim, notice the haircut? Cordell Stewart, I'm told, the team barber. Very talented, too. But I hear there's a 3-month waiting list to get in the chair. Vance Joseph in for a play now. The nose of the ball on the 30-yard line.
Look on Joseph. He's thrown 61 passes. He has not thrown an INT. No interceptions.
2 tight end set. Joseph on the option. Keeps it himself. He wiggles his way down to the 27-yard line. Tackled by Chris Peters, a 6'1", 225-pound senior. Vance Joseph also from Marrero, Louisiana, the same hometown as Cordell Stewart.
Yeah, but he'll go out now, and Stewart will come back in. When a player gets hurt, he has to go out for a play. Then they bring him back in. Cordell back in the ball game now.
Vance Joseph getting on the stat sheet, picking up 5 yards, making it 2nd down and 5. 2 tight end set, single back. Stewart on the option. And Tim, that time it appeared that Fresno State read it well. They had good numbers on that side of the field.
Well, they sure did. Chris Peters came up, and he had the quarterback. They were using Watson on the pitch man. Peters actually strung it out, and it was Watson that made the tackle. You know, the battle cry for FSU coming into this game, no dogs down and swarm to the ball. That was it. So far, the offensive line of Colorado, I mean, smash mouth football.
Lots of muscle up front. Birdie, Irwin, Stoltenberg, Anderson, and West.
This will be 3rd down, and so far CU 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions.
And a whistle down on the field, a timeout taken by the Buffaloes. And we'll take a timeout too. When we come back, it'll be 3rd and 4. The Buffaloes lead by a converted touchdown.
The warmest aloha from the Sheraton hotels that call Waikiki Beach home. The Sheraton Waikiki, the Royal Hawaiian, the Sheraton Moana Surfrider, the Sheraton Princess Kaiulani. Let Sheraton turn the world's most famous beach into your own tropical paradise. Come, celebrate aloha with Sheraton. For reservations, call 800-325-3535.
An international business class ticket, an international business class seat. So what's the difference? Continental's Business First. For the price of business class, you can enjoy the comfort of a sleeper seat and the service of first class. That's the difference.
Enemy in the open.
If the communications data isn't programmed right, 5,000 troops could be cut off.
Enemy forces get her.
But I'd never let that happen to my brigade.
To help relieve your heartburn and give you something your body needs anyway, Tums has calcium.
What does my original Rolaids have?
And aluminum salt.
I think I'll try the calcium. The Tums.
Calcium-rich Tums.
When it comes to tough hand tools, we're making a name for ourselves because they're made with a full lifetime warranty. That's ACE, the name to know for hand tools.
Welcome back to Honolulu, and that is the universal sign here in Hawaii. Hanging loose, St. Nick. Downstairs now to Jackaroo. Jack, what's up?
Well, Mark, the reason that Coach Bill McCartney had to call that timeout is there was only 2 seconds left on the play clock. He brought Cordell Stewart over to the sidelines and had to point out where the play clock is in the north end zone. Cordell wasn't aware that it was there.
Right below that Jeep. Tough finding parking around the stadium here.
Well, at least that one's over the tunnel. See, he has good vision of that one right through the goalpost. On the other side of the stadium, it's actually a lot lower. It's almost down on the field, and that is even more difficult for Dilfer to see. We were talking about that at practice the other day. Look at this one. This one's almost down on the field, and so you're coming that way. It's more difficult to see behind all those people.
Okay, out of the offset eye, Hill and Salam. Stewart can't get rid of it, and he's sacked. And they won't have the first down. He's tackled at the 27-yard line.
Oh, great pursuit that time by Brad Bell, 54 for Fresno State.
Demetrius Edwards also sharing the tackle.
Those guys made the tackle, but I'll tell you, the play was made by Bell. He got great penetration, actually forced Cordell out of there. They need more of that. Here's a guy that has 9 sacks and 10 hurries. Give him another hurry right there.
In comes Mitch Berger now from Colorado. Attempting a 44-yard field goal. He's 13 of 19 on the year, and he has a very strong leg. And he proves it. Berger from North Delta, British Columbia, makes it 10-0 for Colorado.
It's all right, Mark. That was a pretty good defensive stand by FSU. They held them. Once they got down across that line, that midfield stripe, it was almost as if Fresno State got a little bit tougher, started reading things a little bit better. Maybe they weren't awed by the big name of Colorado anymore. Held them to 3 points.
You know, Bill McCartney talked about when they got down near Fresno State's end zone that they had to score touchdowns and not field goals. You would think that it wouldn't be that much of a concern, Tim, because of the fact that they moved the ball fairly well here.
Well, they have, but they've come away with no points. See, that's big. Dilfer has moved the ball, but once they get down near midfield, they've given it up once on a turnover, then they gave it up on downs. They don't punt very much. We talked about that. Only 29 all year because they normally score. So far, FSU with no points on the board. That's got to change if they're going to hang in this thing.
Malcolm Sebron standing on his own goal line, ready for the kick from Mitch Berger. Berger now 14 of 20 on the season. Just 1:48 remaining here in the first quarter. It's 10-0. Colorado leads Fresno State. Another kickoff for Berger goes deep into the end zone, and Sebron takes the touchback. New Year's Day, it's a college football bowl triple header here on ABC Sports. First, Penn State tackles Tennessee in the CompUSA Florida Citrus Bowl. Then in the Rose Bowl, Wisconsin makes its first trip to Pasadena in 31 years when they battle UCLA. And undefeated West Virginia stakes its claim to the national championship when they meet Florida in the USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl. All New Year's Day right here on ABC Sports. Tim, you and I will be down in the Citrus Bowl, the CompUSA Florida Citrus Bowl.
I really believe, Mark, that'll be one of the better football games of the day, Tennessee and Penn State.
Heath Schuler, the second-team All-American quarterback, the third-team All-American quarterback right here this afternoon, and Trent Dilfer. They trail, though, 10-0. He completes the pass again. Who else? David Dunn with a first down out to the 36-yard line. A pickup of 16. He's tackled by Enriquez.
Guilford now 7 for 10. Tell you, he came out of the tight end spot that time. We told you injuries have really cut out that spot. Frank Mills, he's been out since September at tight end for Fresno State. Then Jeff Arnold got hurt. He had some disc problems in his back. Koenig comes in. He got hurt before they left for the bowl. And so now they moved Dunn, who's a wide receiver, into that tight end spot. They're just using him as a receiver, but he's getting lost in the middle and making all these catches. There are the numbers we talked about with Guilford, 7 for 10, 89 yards.
Now 281 attempts without an interception. They run it on first down out to the 36. That was Anthony Daigle, who may have been lucky to pick up 1 yard. Tackled by Kerry Hicks, the nose guard.
Number 94, nose tackle, Kerry Hicks with the stop.
Daigle is first in career rushing touchdowns at Fresno State. He had 34 coming into this game this afternoon.
Yeah, certainly with Rivers, I think they make up one of the best 1-2 punches in college football. Over 5,000 career yards. But now Rivers comes back in and Daigle goes out. You only see those two together if they're in a split back situation.
That's Shannon Clavell for Colorado, who's favoring his right knee. He's pointing to it anyway.
Is he pointing to his knee, or is he having cramps in his calf?
He had his hand on his knee, and now he's up and walking.
I tell you, the heat has been a problem here. Both teams have talked about it. Fresno State didn't even practice here. They practiced on grass most of the week. Colorado came in, practiced here, but Coach McCartney said he had to give them 5-minute breaks several times because of the heat.
Yeah, the first day here, McCartney said that the heat wouldn't be a problem because, hey, he says, we train at altitude. We work out at altitude. But after the second day of workouts, he said, yeah, it's definitely going to be a factor. Split backs now for the Bulldogs. Jones in motion. Dilfer gets the pass off. Intended for Seabrun and closely covered that time. And it's incomplete.
Dalton Simmons was the guy who was covering, did a great job. Crowd for Colorado, for Fresno State, wanted pass interference, no flags. Even Coach Sweeney's going down, asking the back judge, saying, hey, come on, you got to call that. They're bumping and grinding. Here's the pressure, first of all, but Guilford still gets off a nice pass. You see the push right here by Simmons, number 7. They're saying he actually pulled him down. I don't think so. There sure is a lot of pushing and shoving. Well, he did pull him down, had his hand on his right shoulder.
It appeared that he tripped to me.
Well, I don't think the ball was catchable. It was out of bounds, but Sweeney thought it was, and he wanted the flag thrown. I think there's a little bit of frustration right now. FSU has only allowed 41 first-quarter points all year, and they've given up 10 already.
28 seconds to go in the first quarter. A whistle on the field.
They don't play clock. I think it expired. Should be delay of game.
Dead ball, delay of game on the offense. Repeat, third down.
Our head referee, Pat Flood, and all Pac-10 conference crew this afternoon. And they are assigned by the NCAA.
That's a long way for Dilfer to look to find that play clock. And besides that, it's behind a bunch of cheerleaders. That'll be the halftime show. Pull that back now, and this is Dilfer's view. This is what he's looking for. See, that's difficult to see through all those people down to that low play clock.
Rivers the single back, 3 wide receivers, and he hits Charlie Jones, the sophomore. Jones out to the 47-yard line, and he's near a first down, and yes, he has it. A pickup of 15 yards.
Got it by a couple of yards. They'll move the chains.
Dalton Simmons making the tackle.
That'll stop the clock with 17 seconds to go first quarter as they move the chains.
Jones out of Lemoore, California, came in with 41 receptions for a team-high 813 yards.
Before he's pulled down by number 45, Maurice Henriquez.
When Seabrun was injured, Jones came in and did an outstanding job this year.
Clavell comes back in. I think it was just cramps from the heat and the hard surface of the field.
Well, the first quarter of play is in the books in the 1993 edition of the Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl. Well, if you're looking for a postcard beauty shot, none better than that one right there. Look at those clear, beautiful waters of Waikiki Beach.
That's our neighborhood. We spent the last week right there.
There's a look at the Sheraton Waikiki and the Royal Hawaiian in the background.
Mark, the word from Colorado's sideline is that Shannon Clavell did have a slight twist of his knee. Of course, we saw him come back into the ball game, so he is okay.
First down and 10, Tim, for Fresno State after that catch by Charlie Jones. Inside handoff. Stopped up for a gain of about 2 yards. That was Ron Rivers. Rivers, the all-time rushing leader at Fresno State. Kind of short and compact, but low center of gravity.
You want to tell how good he is? Rivers dethroned Marshall Faulk as the WAC rushing champion this year. Take a look at the first quarter stats. You'll see that total yards, Fresno State has 104 to 95, but they haven't been able to hold the ball. All rushing yards, 90 by Colorado, and that has melted the clock. They've got 10 points on the board, and they've dominated pretty much the first quarter.
And one turnover by Fresno State leading to the Colorado touchdown. Second down and 9, just underway here in the second quarter. Rivers in motion. Dilfer to Dunn. Complete. Dunn coughs it up. It's loose. Colorado has the ball. Chris Hudson again. That has got to be deflating for Trent Dilfer and Fresno State.
I don't think there's any question about it. This is a club that came into this game with only 15 giveaways this year. Fresno State protects the ball well. They had only 5 interceptions, 10 fumbles all year. They've got 2 fumbles already here in this first half. This is a nice play. Look at Dunn. Not only that, but he reads and he cuts back in. He loses the ball, though. Here comes the defenders. They slide by him, but it'll be Wilkins who comes from behind. Now watch his right hand just rake it out of there. Ball's loose now. Dunn can't get back to it. They keep him on the ground. Here comes pursuit. Colorado gets it. Turnover number 2. And once again, a squandered opportunity. And Dilfer's upset, probably should be.
He's an emotional guy, Trent Dilfer. He wears his emotions on his sleeve. He'll show them. We have a Fresno State player being helped off the field back at the 41-yard line.
Ron Collins. You know, we talked about how this offensive line stayed relatively injury-free all year and played together, and he's coming out now and is struggling to get to the sidelines.
Collins, one of those leaders up front.
He's going to the Hula Bowl. He'll be back here in a couple weeks.
I want to think about taking up residence in Hawaii, huh?
Jim Sweeney's got to talk to his guys and tell them to maintain their composure. They have been able to move the football. They just have to hold on to it.
All right, we get a look at Lamont Warren now, the tailback out of the eye. He's joined by James Hill, who shifts into the offset eye position. This is Warren out of Los Angeles, California. And he's tackled at the 12-yard line. Downstairs to Jackaroo.
Mark, you must be clairvoyant, because that's exactly what Trent Dilfer just did just moments ago. He walked up to his receiving core and he said, look, don't worry about that. All we're going to have to do is make a lot more catches.
Hey, Jack, Mark's a lot of things, but I've never heard him called clairvoyant.
Is that like prolific? We had a lot of jokes about prolific this week.
I saw us out in Waikiki Beach swimming, too. Neither one of us were clairvoyant.
We'll get to that prolific story after this play. Stewart hands it off to Warren again. Tries the middle, running over his center, and he has about 3 yards, tackled by Gene Smith. You know, earlier in the week, Bill McCartney talked about that Fresno State offense being prolific, and it became the running joke because Coach Sweeney didn't know what prolific meant. And then at the banquet a couple of days ago, McCartney said, well, Coach Sweeney, when you look at and count the number of candles on your birthday cake, that's what prolific means.
Prolific. He says, how can you call me prolific? Says, what's that mean?
Coach McCartney said that Coach Sweeney actually fought in World War I.
We've had a lot of fun this week.
And Stewart is going to talk it over with his head coach. Under cloudy skies in Honolulu at Aloha Stadium, the Buffaloes lead by 10.
The whole idea of saving for retirement is to get ahead. But if your IRA has annual fees and mutual fund sales charges, it can set you back from the start. To make all your money work for you, put it into a Schwab no annual fee IRA. You can choose from over 200 no-load mutual funds and pay no sales charges. And this performance guide is yours free when you open an account. So to make all your IRA money work for you,
maybe it's time to come to Schwab.
1874, the first transatlantic cable connecting Ireland and America. It was made by Siemens. That was then. This is now. Today, Siemens makes telephone switches that handle 1 million calls an hour or billions of bits of data per second on a single phone line. Siemens companies are designing telecommunication solutions to make businesses more efficient today and more competitive tomorrow. Siemens, precision thinking.
Imagination can take your mind to incredible places. For about $17,900, Jeep Cherokee Sport will make sure the rest of you gets there too.
The Wisconsin Badgers make their first trip to Pasadena in 31 years when they battle the Bruins of UCLA in the Rose Bowl, New Year's Day on ABC Sports.
Back at Aloha Stadium, we look at the Fresno State contingent. Quite a few of them made the trip from Fresno, California, here to Honolulu. Their 5th bowl game in 6 years. 3rd down for Colorado. Stewart's going to pass. And he finds his tight end, Christian Fourier, for the 1st down out at the 33-yard line. A big target and soft hands. A pickup of 14 yards.
Look at him smiling. There's a guy that just enjoys playing football. We saw him in the elevator. I was telling him what I thought. He's the best tight end I've seen this year. He is so big and runs so well. Watch this. He drags all the way across the middle, and he comes behind the linebacker, and they put the ball there. Look at those hands. Very few tight ends you see catch the ball away from their bodies. They use it with their hands. Now, here's what happened to Cordell. He's taking a pretty good licking here today. Shaken up earlier. Every time he releases the ball, they're hitting him.
That was Ron Papazian, nicknamed the Assassin by his teammates. Here's Stewart, throws a dart to Charles Johnson with his first catch of the day. He's near the 1st down marker, the 42-yard line. Pushed out of bounds by James Burke in the corner. That's going to be a nice matchup to watch throughout the course of the afternoon.
The thing about Cordell is every time he gets hit, he gets back up, smiles, comes back, and completes a pass.
That's for 2,299 yards in 1993.
Word on Ron Collins, a twisted knee. He is expected to return. We saw him take him to the sidelines a few minutes ago from Fresno State.
Double tight end set. Lamont Warren with lots of room. Warren down to the 44-yard line, tackled by Gene Smith, but not before a pickup of 15 yards. Well, tomorrow, Jack Nicklaus, Nancy Lopez, Greg Norman, and the top players of the PGA, seniors, and ladies tours go head-to-head in the Wendy's 3-Tour Challenge tomorrow at 3 Eastern, 2 Central and Pacific, right here on ABC Sports. Some of the big names in golf involved in that one.
Jim Sweeney, Willie Robinson, the defensive coordinator for Fresno State, right now have to be shaking their heads because 2 possessions, 2 scores for Colorado. And here they're moving it well again.
They tried to run the option. Stewart tries running to the right, comes back left, and he's tackled, had nowhere to go. Gene Smith making the tackle for Fresno State.
Yeah, but again, it was Demetrius Edwards, the nose guard, that made the play. He got in, actually made Stewart reroute and try to scramble to get a few yards. Edwards very aggressive. Been on a tear the last 4 games. But with a guy like Stewart, you have to wrap your arms. You can't let him get away.
Approaching 11 minutes to play here in the first half. Colorado with a 10-0 lead. Buffalo is averaging 470 yards of offense per contest. This is T.J. Cunningham on the flanker screen. Shakes off one tackle, and T.J. is brought down by the last man at At the 17, that was Lance Thomas with a shoestring tackle. A pickup of 27 yards by T.J. Cunningham. He started the Iowa State game because Michael Westbrook had to sit it out because of a team violation.
But again, it's a missed tackle. Watch this. This is the drag under the linebackers. 54, Brad Bell has a great shot at him as he drags across the middle. Watch 54 right there. Has his legs, but lets him get away. Picks up another 20 after that. Missed tackles have killed Fresno State in the first half.
One thing you notice about the Colorado receivers, they downfield block very well. Here's Lamont Warren. Shakes off 2 tackles. Down to the 9-yard line. Brought down by Chris Peters.
Lance Thomas had him that time and let him get away.
Lamont Warren out of Dorsey High School in Los Angeles with 4.3 speed.
I think that's Jackaroo, isn't it?
Ball at the 10-yard line now for Colorado. 9:50 to play in the first half. Hill and Warren out of the eye. Lamont Warren trying to get to the corner. And he's brought down nicely at the 7-yard line by Tommy Jones, the cornerback. Lamont Warren, a real character for Colorado. Had a chance to talk with him, ran into him on Waikiki Beach. He's a young, budding sportscaster, and before I knew it, he had his resume in my hands.
900 yards despite a badly sprained ankle during the season. Only guy in the league to score a touchdown in running, receiving, and passing.
He has a total of 31 yards on 5 carries in this drive. James Hill is in the house. Touchdown, Buffaloes.
We expected a high-scoring game, but not all by Colorado.
A 7-yard run, almost untouched by James Hill.
And we kept talking about Fresno State scoring 40 points a game. Colorado said we're going to blitz them. We're going to shut them down. And if there's going to be a romp in this game, it's going to be us. And so far, it has been.
Colorado's so deep at that tailback spot. Mitch Berger with the extra point. And it's 17-0. James Thrill Hill doing the honors on this one.
Brought to you by Jeep and Eagle, a division of the Chrysler Corporation. And the Hawaiian Islands, the most beautiful islands in the world.
Did you happen to catch Tim Brand out there sunbathing? Mitch Berger with his 4th kickoff of the afternoon. 3 of them have gone into the end zone. Malcolm Sebron back deep for Fresno State. Take the touchback again. Shaking his head, saying, no way. Downstairs to Jackaroo.
Well, Mark, when you talk about Trent Dilfer and his prolific passing attack, consider this. When he came out of high school, he wasn't wanted anywhere as a quarterback. Fresno State was the only team that recruited him as a quarterback, and they even had him 8th on their list of potential recruits. The top 7 went elsewhere. Dilfer got the quarterback scholarship. The rest is history.
All right, Jack. Yeah, as you were saying, a lot of teams actually recruiting him, Tim, as a linebacker, maybe even a tight end because of his size.
Well, he's 230 pounds, has a tough time getting it down to that. I'll tell you what, I really truly believe he's coming out this year. I don't think he'll be back for his senior year.
A blitz off the corner. Dilfer gets rocked, but gets rid of it. Incomplete. And I'm telling you, Dalton Simmons was like a missile looking for a target on that play.
Well, he had that 30-yard head start. That roll came from way outside. Cornerback, here's Dilfer, who's 9 for 14 now. Here comes number 7, Simmons, off the corner. Look at that.
Bam! Whew.
Slobber knocker.
Dalton Simmons making the start on the corner. That Colorado secondary, as we mentioned earlier, shuffled around because of various suspensions.
He really matured nicely this year. He missed 3 games with a bad ankle, but Now one of the more experienced players today in the secondary.
They blitz again, but this time Dilfer finds David Dunn up the middle, complete to the 43-yard line, and a pickup of 23 yards.
Somehow these guys have to break the ice. I mean, they're moving up and down the field, but don't have any points. 2 turnovers, 14 points for Colorado. Cannot do that. Turnovers will kill you. But here's Dilfer again. Cool customer. Big guy. Great vision. Look at this. Throws right into the middle of the zone. All they're doing is playing a 2-deep, 5-under zone. He's finding the open areas. They don't turn the ball over. They're right in this thing.
And, Tim, what do you think about all the talk about Fresno State not having a tight end? Doesn't seem to be a factor so far.
I think it's been interesting what they're doing. They move Hall over there. He's a big right tackle. They move him to tight end. They move Dunn up there if they're going to pass. Hasn't hurt him at all.
Out of the eye this time, Ron Rivers stuck at the line by number 92, Shannon Clavel. He was shaken up earlier, but that time he shook up Rivers.
You know, Clavel was a nose tackle last year. They said, this guy's got enough speed. Let's move him out a little bit. Put him in a 5 technique. Make him a tackle.
Not much depth up front, but a lot of talent. They only brought 5 down defensive linemen.
Fresno State has not been able to run the ball at all. We talk about moving up and down with a pass, but FSU's run the ball 8 times. They've got -1 yard. Look at that. -1.
Colorado's 128. The Buffaloes with their dime package in the secondary. Sam Rogers with the pressure, but Daigle makes the catch for Fresno State. Daigle out to midfield. He'll be about 3.5 yards shy of the first down. He's tackled by Chris Hudson, who's been all over the field this afternoon.
That's all right. It'll bring up 3rd down now. They're in Colorado territory. Opens up things. Just spread the field. Dilfer will get you first. Look how well he responds to pressure. He can feel the heat coming from Rogers and still hangs in there and completes the pass. We've seen him do that several times today. The other time he just threw it away. Big, strong quarterback. Reminds me of Dan Marino, the way he's built and stands in that pocket.
Dilfer looking forward to this game. A lot of people east of the Mississippi haven't had a chance to see Fresno State. And motion on the offensive line for the Bulldogs. Dilfer not happy about it.
See, that's going to be Kenny Hall. Kenny Hall came out of his spot, actually started pumping his arms. Whether he reset before he was hit now is another question.
We'll find out from the officiating crew in just a minute.
Dead ball. Offsides on the defense.
See, he reset.
It's against Colorado.
He can move. Remember the old Dallas formation where they come out, raise up, and then go back down? You can move if no one on defense responds, and you reset within a second.
45-yard line, good for a first down. 1st and 10, Fresno State.
Jones coming in with the play. And here's another look at that.
Watch 77 right hand of your screen right there. All right, now reset. Boom, 1001. Boom, now he's hit. That's defense.
Fresno State very much in need of some success right here without a turnover. They fake the end around. Dilfer looking for a receiver, and he finds one down to the 31-yard line. That's Ron Rivers coming out of the backfield.
What about Dilfer saying, hey, Cordell, I can do this too.
Very slick ball handling that time, and a pickup of 14 yards. Rivers tackled by Simmons and Matt Russell on that play.
Dilfer, we've talked about him all day. WAC Player of the Year, All-American, #1 ranked passer in the United States.
What about Ron Rivers, though? A wrestler, Tim, in the offseason. He says that it helps him to break tackles during football season.
I'll tell you what else it does. See, wrestlers understand leverage. And that helps them a great deal. Also, it helps you with your quickness. So, I like that.
Colorado coming with a blitz. Dilfer completes the pass to Charlie Jones at the 21-yard line. Pushed out of bounds at the 21. Hudson with the pressure.
All right, this should move the chains again. Stops the clock when they move the chains with 6:16 left. He's now 13 for 18, 200 yards. Mark, if they don't turn the ball over, I know it's if and but if you don't turn it over, there's been 2 touchdowns off 2 fumbles. It's a 3-0 ball game.
Well, the last one really cost them because Dunn coughed it up.
Look at Mike Hankiewicz. Mike Hankiewicz, the defensive coordinator for Colorado.
The draw to Rivers. thing doing. He broke 2 tackles, but couldn't escape the grasp of number 3, Liamidi.
You know, we talked about him being a wrestler and understanding leverage. You can understand all the leverage and have the quickness and all the quickness in the world, but if you're going up against 5 guys without a blocker, it's 5 against 1, your chances aren't good.
And of course, that Colorado front 7 sees a lot of running in the Big 8 conference. It's interesting that Rivers and Daigle split a lot of time, but both of them have their fair share of school records. Very much team players as well. 3 wideouts for the Bulldogs. The blitz. Dilfer gets rid of it. What a heads-up play by Trent Dilfer. And Rivers makes it down to the 12. He's tackled by Ted Johnson. But Dilfer says, hey, how do you like that, Buffaloes?
Yeah, Dilfer gets up, shakes his head, goes back to Hicks, the nose tackle, and says, hey, man, you guys were all over me. I'm not sure this should have been a completion, though. Watch this. All right, right now, Dilfer sees the pressure coming. He tucks it away, tries to get out of the way. Now, here comes Hicks, 94 in there, avoids him, but his knee, I thought, hit before he released the ball. Nonetheless, officials don't call it, and they pick up the big gain. Bring up 3rd and short.
I'd give it to him for effort alone. That's Wolford.
That's the strength we were talking about.
He got rid of it.
That is. That's a good play.
Rivers spinning off 1 tackle. And he's near the 1st down. They'll have to measure for this one. Ron Rivers with some tough running near the 10.
This will depend on the mark. This is huge for Fresno State.
I think they go for it, even if they're short.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I mean, they're down 17-0.
I'd kick the field goal right now. I'd kick the field goal right now.
Jim Sweeney with a decision to make.
He's made it. He's agreeing with you. They're going to go for it.
Jack did say something about a clairvoyant, didn't he? On 4th down conversions this year, Fresno State is 8 of 13.
They've got about 6 inches to go here. Puts the faith in that big, strong offensive line he has.
Rivers, Daigle, and Mexico in the T-heavy formation.
Timeout. Timeout, Fresno State.
On 4th and short. We'll find out what happens when we come back.
You've heard all the analogies before. Think of it as caviar for the power hungry. Or think of it as flying 1st class for the price of coach. Forget them. This is the Eagle Vision TSI. A sports sedan with a 24-valve, 214-horsepower engine, anti-lock brakes, even driver and front passenger airbags. With a car like this, you don't need all those silly comparisons. Eagle Vision. Think of it as an Eagle Vision.
Inc. Magazine, Getting Down to Business. Brought to you by AT&T. Is your survival plan designed for today's business? Some constructive ideas in a minute.
Definitely not.
Absolutely not.
Negative.
To save pennies per call on your 800 service, would you risk losing sales?
No way.
No. Not a chance.
That's what over 9 out of 10 800 users we surveyed said. Introducing Maximum Advantage from AT&T. Now you can automatically get AT&T's lowest price guarantee on the most reliable 800 service in the business. Know anyone who can beat that?
No.
Maximum Advantage from AT&T, the best in the business.
To build for success, monitor cash flow daily. Never spend more than you take in. Invest in inventory tracking software. And consider bringing in some outside thinking to your board of directors. It'll challenge your assumptions and keep you fresh. For more information about how AT&T can help your business, call 1-800-537-8700.
Hello, my name is Jason James. I'm the center for Fresno State. On behalf of my teammates and my fellow offensive linemen, we'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.
Those guys are about to be tested. 4th down and short. They have the offense in. Looks like they're going to go for it. I'll tell you, I would bring them up, and I'd wait, try to force Colorado off sides. If they don't jump, you don't get the first. I'd take the penalty, still kick the field goal.
Okay, we'll see what they do. They come out in the T-heavy formation. The handoff, and it's going to be close.
Well, the mark gives it to them. They've got the first down. Line judge has his right foot right on the 10, and that's enough for a first down.
And it is. The official signaling first down for Fresno State at the 10.
Boy, he barely got it. You know that?
Some critical success, finally, for Fresno State.
Nose of that ball just barely touching the 10-yard line.
They've used up 5:20 on the clock so far on this drive. Won't see that happen a lot because this is a real big play offense. Big strike offense. 4:03 remaining in the first half. Dilfer on the fade pattern. Incomplete, broken up by Dalton Simmons. Lee Harris was the intended receiver.
You know, this receiving corps was ranked in the nation's top 5 preseason, then lived up to it all year. 156 receptions, 3,000 yards coming into this game. Fresno State gets down into this red zone area right now and gets extremely confident, takes a lot of chances. Matter of fact, Fresno State has scored 50 of the 61 times they've been inside the red zone. 35 of those have been touchdowns.
Tim, this is the 12th play of the drive. Second down and goal to go. Daigle out of the backfield, and he drops it. Oh, that hurts. Usually a very reliable receiver with sure hands, but he was thinking about it before he caught it.
Again, Rogers coming in, putting the pressures on Dilfer. Watch number 90, Rogers. He's the guy that makes his pass fly high. He's 6'3", gets his arms up and then jumps. Dilfer has to release it high and throws it a little bit long, but I'll tell you this, Daigle's got to make that catch. That was a perfectly thrown ball. He's got to concentrate, keep his head right on that ball and pull it in.
Daigleton made 37 receptions during the course of the season. Trips left formation, a blitz into the end zone, incomplete. He was looking for Malcolm Sebron, and he fired high. Actually, Sebron, Tim, cut the other way.
Dilfer comes out shaking his head, too. He was hit and hit hard by Rogers again. He's a little bit shaken up right now. He's wondering where that pressure's coming from. He wants somebody to pick it up. Actually got sandwiched both sides.
Tim, Colorado looks like they're blitzing quite a bit this afternoon.
Well, from the corners, they're bringing Woolfork and Rogers.
Derek Mahoney now to attempt a field goal from 27 yards out. And he splits the uprights, finally putting Fresno State on the scoreboard. 17-3. We'll be right back.
I'm Daniel Lemidi from American Samoa.
I'm Sulu Petoya from American Samoa. We're from the Colorado Buffalo.
We'd like to say to everyone out there, Emanuele Christmas.
Which is Merry Christmas in Samoa.
Hi, Grandma, Grandpa.
Hi, Mom, hi, Dad. Hi, everybody.
What a great week this has been. Hey, Maryland. Woodbine, Maryland. Got some Terps over here.
And one upstairs. James Kidd, 6 yards deep. He'll take the touchdown. Mahoney with a strong kickoff.
Fresno State right now has to be really concerned with the defense. I mean, this is something they haven't been able to stop. Colorado had it 8 plays, touchdown. 9 plays, field goal. 10 plays, touchdown.
And they've been very methodical, just running the ball right down Fresno State's throat.
Average 6 yards every time they touch it. I mean, that's something you better be concerned about if you're playing defense.
Warren and Hill in the backfield, out of the offset eye for the Buffaloes. Cordell Stewart hands it off to Hill. Hill might lose a yard on that play. About 3.5 minutes to play here in the first half as the Buffaloes lead 17-3. I'm Mark Jones along with Tim Brand and Jack Arute here for the 12th annual Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl.
No dogs down on that. Good pursuit by Brad Bell and a whole host of Bulldogs. You know, by Colorado being so proficient on offense and efficient on offense, they've been able to keep the ball away from Dilfer and that FSU scoring machine.
Lamont Warren stopped up after a gain of maybe 2 yards by Brad Bell. Bell led the team with 9 sacks this year. Interesting story in that Bell, number 54 for Fresno State, came to school at, Tim, get this, 193 pounds his first year.
He's another one of those guys that was a wrestler in high school and a very, very good one. He understands leverage too, and wants to be a coach when he gets out. Very tenacious guy, solid technique guy.
3rd down and long for Colorado. Play action by Stewart. And he's almost picked off by Chris Peters. Had the ball in his grasp and couldn't squeeze it. Boy, they could have used a turnover in that kind of field position.
I'll tell you what, that's the best defensive series they've had all day. Again, there was pressure, and it came from 54 Bell. That makes Cordell hurry it up a little bit. Now watch Peters, 52. Peters reads it, goes inside out, gets his hands on it. Fresno State takes a timeout. That means the Bulldogs will have 1 remaining with 2:25 to go in the half.
Tonight on ABC, the big question, will Tony be forced to play Scrooge and kick a homeless woman out of the town's Christmas display? Boy, that's big time Scrooge. It's a heartwarming holiday episode of The Commish tonight at 10, 9 Central on ABC.
Jim Sweeney now trying to make this a 17-10 ball game at the half, which will put them right back in it. They've got 2:25 to go in the half. You're going to get good field position here. Got 1 timeout left.
And Charlie Jones for Fresno State standing near the 50-yard line, a dangerous punt returner. A big program coming up for you at halftime. Great show, Holiday Island fun. A New Year's Day preview, a great lineup of games coming up here on ABC. And Jack Arute followed along some of the players from Fresno State with a special visit to one of the local hospitals. Mitch Berger into punt. He's standing on his own 5. Berger gets off a nice high spiraling punt. Great hang time. And it lands at the 37-yard line where Jones calls for the fair catch. A 44-yard punt by Mitch Berger. So with 2:16 remaining in the first half, Colorado leads 17-3. And the story so far, Tim, you'd have to say is 2 key turnovers by the Fresno State offense, which Colorado has converted into points.
14 points to be exact. It's a 17-3 ball game. FSU offensively now has to have a sense of urgency. 2:16 to go in the half. 1 timeout remaining. They know the clock stops every time they get a first down to move the chains. If you're thinking field goal, Mahoney's longest this year is a 35-yarder, so they've got to get to the 18 to be in his range.
Dilfer is brought down and sacked at the 33-yard line. The 2nd sack of the afternoon for Colorado. Downstairs to Jack Arute.
Mark, there's all sorts of traditions connected with the Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl. You know, at most bowl games, what they do is they sell a glossy program for $3 to $5. Well, the folks at the Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl wanted to reward all of their patrons, so they produced this tabloid-type program. It was distributed free of charge to all of the fans and patrons coming to this game. And get this, an additional 50,000 of these are being distributed across the islands as part of their Christmas celebration here in Paradise.
And Paradise it is. And a reception by David Dunn at the 39-yard line. He'll be short of the first down, though, by about 6 yards. And Jack, we got a great picture of you on page 1. How'd you set that up? What would it cost him, Tim?
He was born at night, but not last night.
1:11 remaining in the first half. Dilfer fumbles the snap.
Again.
It's still loose. It's still loose. It's still loose. It's not loose, and Colorado has the ball at the 15. Another egregious error by Fresno State. Dalton Simmons came up with it.
Do you believe it? 3 turnovers now. This from a club that was plus 16. in the turnover margin all year. Very rarely do they turn the ball over in the regular season. Here, 3 turnovers, and so far everyone's turned into Colorado points. Look at Dilfer. He's just frustrated right now.
There's a flag down, Tim, at the 15-yard line. The officials talking this one over.
I'll tell you what I think they're going to call. The Stabler rule. See where Dilfer, when the ball was loose, he went down and pushed it, swatted it.
Dead ball, non-contact foul on Colorado. It'll be 1st and 10 after we enforce a 15-yard penalty. 1st and 10, Colorado.
All right, it's going to be against Colorado, so they'll just move them back. That was at the end of the play. It was a dead ball foul. But watch the fumble, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, the ball never gets back to Dilfer from the center. Now watch Dilfer get down. He tries to get it and just bats it with his right hand over into the corner. Now 5, 6 guys will touch this thing before it's finally recovered. Trying to pick it up, can't get it.
Following the infraction,
I counted 5 guys that touched it before Simmons finally hauled it in. And Fresno State probably needed a little stickum in their stockings from Santa Claus. As you mentioned, during the course of the season, they were number 2 in the country in turnover ratio. But they've turned it over 3 times today.
Yeah, see, look at that. 2 of those turned into 14 points. Here's the 3rd one right here.
To Colorado's credit, they've been very opportunistic. Stewart over the middle, complete to Christian Fourier, down to the 22.
45 seconds remain now. Colorado still has a timeout remaining.
And Mitch Berger has a very strong leg, too. We talked about Mahoney.
Cordell using a lot of time here to get a playoff. Look at McCartney saying, what is going on?
That's something we saw happen in the Nebraska game, too, Tim.
4 o'clock management.
Backside pressure, and Stewart is down at the 34. A blitz by Stoutmeyer, and Stewart is sacked. And that may have taken them out of field goal range. We'll have to see. 11 seconds to play in the first half now.
I can't believe that. They used about 20 seconds just to get a play from the sidelines. Then they come up with this. Here's 18 Stoutmeyer. He's got great speed. He's a strong guy. Bench presses over 400 pounds. This time he slams Cordell Stewart to the ground. Came on that corner blitz. Safety blitz, put him on the corner, let him ride.
Yeah, Sam Watson was injured this year, missed 4.5 games, and Stoutmeyer stepped right in. And that secondary did not skip a beat. Sweeney's still very encouraging on the sidelines for his team. Told us a great story about Russ Hartman, who had a head injury, suffered a head injury a couple of years ago, and subsequently suffered headaches for 7 consecutive months. And Sweeney said, you better get your head examined. And then he asked his player, what happens if they find out you don't have a brain? Hartman shot back, well, coach, I can always become the head coach at Fresno State. This guy might be in the wrong profession. He is such an entertainer.
Well, right now he's more concerned with what's taking place on the field with 11 seconds left. Looking for some flood control. Mitch Berger's career long is 54, so they're in his range right now.
Michael Westbrook in motion to the bottom of your screen. 2 tight end formation. Stewart going up top, intended for Westbrook, but it's broken up nicely that time in the secondary.
Tommy Jones got over with a hand on it. They were playing him inside out, had 2 guys on him. Jones read it, made a nice play.
Okay, so we were talking about Mitch Berger. He's 1 for 1 so far this afternoon. First one coming from 44 yards out. This one will come from 49 out of the hold of Duke Tobin, the backup quarterback. The kick into a very slight headwind. Berger says no problem. That one could have gone 55 yards. Berger now 2 for 2 on the afternoon. That gives Colorado a 20-3 lead.
Gives Fresno State 1 second So they'll have a kick, and that'll be it.
Mitch Berger now 4 for 8 from that distance on the year, Tim.
You know, you move it back like that normally, the longer the field goal, the flatter the kick. He got that up high. That could have been good from 60-some yards.
Downstairs now to Jack Arute. Jack, what's up?
Well, Mark, for the first time since 1967, the live mascot for the University of Colorado, Ralphie, did not make this trip. They tell me the reason was because a 1,300-pound buffalo making that sort of cross-country trek, cross-Pacific trek, would get stressed out on the airplane. So he's sitting at home, but, you know, I ran with Ralphie in the Colorado-Miami game, did a fairly decent job. But I brought my memento of my run with Ralphie. And Ralphie, if you're watching TV, I want to tell you one thing. I'm coming back, and I'm going all the way.
Hey,
you
Jack,
owe me one.
Jack.
Yeah.
Ralphie is a she, not a he.
Yeah, but you know my luck. You know my luck with women, so I wanted to refer to him as he.
Jack, we saw you run with Ralphie. I think you've lost a couple of steps. Berger just squibs it. This will be the last play of the first half. Jamie Christian for Fresno State tries to lateral it, and he does. Sebron, Malcolm Sebron, no flags. Merry Christmas, Bulldogs.
Do you believe it? There is a flag down.
It was a late one.
It might be for celebration. If so, they'll tag that onto the second half kickoff.
Jamie Christian, Tim, got the squib kick at about the 30-yard line. And I'm not sure whether he fumbled it or lateraled it. I think he lateraled the ball.
He did try to lateral it, but it turned into a fumble, and it was picked up off the turf.
And Malcolm Sebron has 4.4 speed, so he can run, and that's what he did.
The official on this side wasn't sure of the rule. You'll see the official close to the sideline actually throw a beanbag to mark the spot where the ball hit the ground. Watch this. All right, first of all, he comes up, he's hit. Now watch, here's the lateral. Bam, right here. All right, now the ball hits. You'll see a beanbag come flying in. They mark it there. And then he takes it the distance. Now, we talked about the flag being after the play, excessive celebration. That'll go in the second half kickoff.
And it goes as an 80-yard return. Christian and Sebron will, I guess, split it. But Sebron took the handoff and motored down the sideline, stayed in bounds. Good to see him get that touchdown. He's had a really tough year struggling with injuries. Hey, and Fresno State right back in this game. Let's make it 20-10.
You know, with that offense that Fresno State has, they're never out of a game. But this certainly does help going into halftime. Just 10 down.
And you thought you'd seen everything. We'll return with more action from the 1993 Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Turn arrow.
Man, JR, little JR with their special rendition of the 12 Days of Christmas, the Honolulu Boy Choir. Well, Tim, you know, one of the interesting things about that first half of play so far has been the fact that Trent Dilfer has amassed some very impressive statistics, but they're not reflected on the scoreboard.
Well, no, it goes back to the turnovers. Anytime you turn the ball over 3 times, you're not going to be very successful. You're not going to put many points on the board. Consequently, Colorado did. They took those turnovers, and they forced them into points. I think the most interesting thing here is that Fresno State has amassed 218 yards passing. They've had their way with the offensive passing attack, but have not been able to run the ball at all. As a matter of fact, minus 28 yards rushing. Take a look at these statistics. Can you see the rush yards there for FSU? Minus 28, but 218 yards passing. Colorado sitting in a 2-deep, 5-under zone, and Dilfer's having his way with it. You take away those 3 turnovers, and it's a much different ball game. I think right now the Bulldogs are on the brink of breaking loose.
And of course, Fresno State, we see the 3 turnovers right there. They came into the game as the second-rated team in the nation in turnover margin, so that in itself is a big surprise. And Cordell Stewart, let's talk about him a little bit, the other quarterback. he hasn't been forced to pass that much. He's passed pretty much just to keep the Fresno State defense honest, but rushing the ball has been the forte of the Buffaloes so far.
But you know, Mark, I think at the end of that first half, you could almost feel the adjustments by FSU. I mean, they made the adjustments, stopped the option. I think they were giving Cordell some problems.
Do you remember Charles?
Oh, absolutely.
Let's go join her right now. Down to the field. Give it to me.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año de vida. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año de vida. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año de vida. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Well, this hula dancer made second team All-Hawaii. 20-10 at halftime. Mark Jones along with Tim Brent and Jack LaRue. A key play right here, Tim.
Absolutely biggest play of the first half for Fresno State. Watch this. Here comes Jamie Christian. He gets tied up. This is the old Cal play against Stanford. Whoop, lateral the ball, but the ball's loose. Sebron picks it up. There's no way Mitch Berger's going to make this tackle. Here he comes. He's got a bad thumb. He injured his thumb, broke it making a tackle. This time just throws his body. Sebron takes it the distance, and all of a sudden, Fresno State's back in at 20-10.
Let me ask you this, Tim Brent. As a coach, do you think of maybe kicking the ball right through the end zone instead of squibbing it down? I mean,
No,
that way,
I think
you got a guy like Mitch Berger who's got a strong leg who can kick it into the end zone.
No, I think they were squibbing it to keep it away from the deep guys to avoid a big return. They just didn't do it. If you look at Dilfer, he's having a huge first half. 15 for 23, 218 yards. I was talking to Dave Platty here at halftime, who's the SID at Colorado. He says, this guy's just like Elway. This is unbelievable. It's not quite like Elway. I don't think he doesn't have that escapability, but you did see him really improvise and make some big plays in that first half.
Especially on that one play where he was being brought down by the Colorado linebacker and was able to just shuffle the ball forward for the completion. Downstairs now to Jack LaRue.
Well, Mark, I managed to talk to Coach Jim Sweeney as he went into the locker room, and as you supposed, that was a big emotional lift at the end, but I also asked him why the absence of the effectiveness in the running game. He said, we actually set ourselves up for that situation. It allows us to use our passing game more effectively. I scratched my head and I said, you mean you're not going to change your game plan at all? He said, absolutely not. If it were not for those turnovers, we'd be in the game, and that's what I'm going to tell my players.
Hold on. He's saying minus 28 yards rushing is just what he wants?
It blew me away. I couldn't believe it, but that's exactly what he said. He's not exactly what he wanted, but he said we wanted them concerned about our running game. We wanted them to maybe key off of that, and it might open us up for some one-on-one and a chance for Dilfer to go long.
Unbelievable. I don't buy into that.
Well, that's what he told me. Coaches never lie, right?
Hey, Jack, I don't question you. How about Bill McCartney? Did you have a chance to visit with him or listen to anything that they were saying?
Well, the big thing that Coach McCartney, I couldn't believe, was most upset about was that kickoff near the end. He just chewed Berger out. Other than that, he was fairly unemotional as he went into the locker, and as they came out, hey, they're ahead. They just want to hold on. You know, their bowl record isn't that great.
Chewing Berger out, he thought maybe Berger should have kicked the distance and tried to push it through the end zone, or he didn't have...
Well, remember during the week, they talked about the fact that when Berger took over kickoff, punting, and place kicking, that maybe his distance wasn't as long as before, but they said they'd rather have it that way. Maybe he had a momentary lapse of insanity. Who knows?
All right, Jack.
Let's take a look at the scoring summary to see how we got where we are. Colorado, by virtue of a Salam 2-yard run, going up 7-0 in the first quarter. Berger with a 44-yard field goal to make it 10-0. And after that, in the second quarter, James Hill right up the middle on a 7-yard run, 17-0 Colorado. Derek Mahoney finally put the Bulldogs on the board, 17-3 with a 27-yard field goal. But then Berger with a 49-yarder to make it 20-3, and that run back off the kickoff that we saw moments ago to make it 20-10. That's James Kidd for Colorado standing on his own 15-yard line. And because of that celebration penalty after the kickoff return for a touchdown, Fresno State is kicking off from its 20 instead of the 35. Mahoney's boot down to the 13. Kidd. He's got an alley. James Kidd with a nice return out to the 43-yard line. Good field position for the Buffaloes. A 30-yard return tackled by Jeff Arnold.
Taking the offensive leaders, Stewart 5 for 9, 63 yards, but really has not had to pass much because look at the running backs. Salam 64 yards, 32 for Warren. We saw a lot of Warren in the second quarter. Stewart himself had 6 carries for 11 yards, and then Hill came in and had a 5-yard gain after 2 carries. So they're getting the running game. Right now it's been in the pits. They've dominated offensively. They're big, they're strong, and this little Fresno State defense has had some problems stopping them.
We've seen the offset eye a lot this afternoon. We see it again. Salam over the left side out to the 45-yard line, tackled by Ron Papazian.
Fresno State minus 28 yards now. If Jim Sweeney said that's just the kind of thing we want, we set it up that way to get the big passing yards, I don't buy into that. Colorado inside the 20 2 times, 2 touchdowns, and 2 quarterback sacks. So Colorado really dominated, I thought, in that first half.
The Buffaloes using 2 tight ends this time. Michael Westbrook in motion. Salam again collared at the 47 and falls forward to the 50-yard line, brought down by Demetrius Edwards.
One of the problems we saw from Fresno State in that first half was not only the size differential where they were not able to match up with that Colorado offense, but also a lot of missed tackles. We saw one there. Salam breaking one to pick up 3 or 4 more yards.
Sets up 3rd down and 3. Buffaloes on a 3-game winning streak, as are the Fresno State Bulldogs.
CU ranks 12th in the nation running the football. Stewart counting the defenders, see where the overload is. Now come up and make the play.
They run the option. Stewart keeps it, and he'll be short of the first down. They string it out nicely that time, Fresno State does.
Boy, was that ever played well by Deshae and Rockwell. Watch this. First of all, they'll skate down. You'll see the play right there. 13 is Gene Smith. He strings it out. Now watch Deshae and Rockwell come up. 98 right there to give him some assistance and ride him out of bounds. Stewart read that, counted, thought he had an overload to that side, but Fresno State adjusted well.
You've got to think that that's important for the Fresno State defense to have some success this early in the second half.
FSU takes a timeout here. You don't want to waste one this early, but they do have 2 remaining. That's because on 4th down, it looked like Colorado was going for it.
Tomorrow night on ABC, one of the best movies ever made. Winner of 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Robert Redford, Paul Newman together in The Sting. Tomorrow at a special time, 8:30, 7:30 Central on ABC.
Cordell Stewart stayed on the field a little bit long that time on 4th down. Fresno State only had 10 guys on the field. They called a timeout. I can't believe that Colorado would go for this on 4th and long.
Just underway here in the third quarter. 13-18 to play in the period.
Missed the snow. Come on.
I know which one I'd choose.
Berger into punt now. He has 16 punts inside the 20-yard line this year. So look for the pooch punt here.
Didn't enjoy the season that he would have liked, but still has some pretty good numbers.
Watch the fake.
He hangs it up high. Jones calling for the fair catch over his head and into the end zone. A 49-yard punt and nothing on the return. The Dogs with the job to do. When we come back, they stay close.
Anyone can see that the new GE Profile Radiant Convection range is easy to clean, but the real technological advantage is what you can't see. So we'll show it to you in a roundabout way. Introducing the first GE range that circulates hot air all around your food, roasting meats up to 30% faster, so they get done to a turn on the outside while staying tender and juicy on the inside. Why does GE offer such an ingenious way to cook? Because we know how much of life revolves around dinner.
When the doctor told me to come in right away, I was scared. This burning pain was real. Was I relieved when my doctor said Mylanta?
For heartburn, Mylanta is the antacid doctors recommend most.
My doctor said Mylanta.
Amazingly, most people in America have never heard of this product. Tylenol Sinus Gel Caps, the strength you need from the name you trust.
Last year, Miami beat San Diego to get into the AFC Championship, and the Chargers have not forgotten. They meet on ABC's Monday Night Football.
Back at Aloha Stadium, I'm Mark Jones along with Tim Brand and Jack Arute down on the sidelines. Colorado leads Fresno State in the Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl 20-10. We're just underway here in the third quarter. Trent Dilfer has been slicing and dicing this Colorado defense, but they only have 10 points on the scoreboard.
See the tight end, that was done. He has 8 catches in that first half.
They run it on first down out to the 25. That was Ron Rivers, the first team all-WAC selection. Tackled by Sam Rogers.
Here's a look at Dunn. Had a big first half, 8 catches, 128 yards. I believe the record here at the Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl is 150 yards, so he's approaching that bowl record. Another stat, if you follow statistics, Colorado allows only 219 yards passing a game. Dilfer in the first half had 218.
There's a look at Dunn out of San Diego, California. Second down and 5 for Fresno State. Out of the eye, this is Ron Rivers. Gains about 2. It'll set up third down and 3. Tackled by Kerry Hicks. That front 7 doing a good job for Colorado. Lavelle, Hicks, Holland, Smith, Diet, Ron Woolfork among the linebackers, and Sam Rogers.
Woolfork and Rogers had huge first halves. Colorado stayed in that 2 deep, 5 under a lot, mixing man and zone, but Dilfer had his way picking it apart.
Ron Woolfork, of course, a Butkus and Lombardi semifinalist, one of the top linebacking prospects in the country. Little play action by Trent Dilfer. And he gets it away, and it's incomplete.
They should throw a flag on that.
And they get one.
A late flag.
Shannon Clavel was in with the pressure.
It was not a receiver anywhere near where he threw that ball. 2 linemen, they can't touch it. Finally, they throw the flag.
Intentional grounding on the offense.
Good call, intentional grounding.
5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Also lost a down. 4th down.
Dilfer walking to the sidelines.
Hey, he's a smart quarterback, though. He took a chance, couple red jerseys over there. Watch this. Again, they bring the heat from the outside. Look at Wolford. Here comes big old 92 Clavel, and he just throws it up. There's not anybody around.
Derek Mahoney's in the shadows of his own goalpost. Charles Johnson standing on his own 42 for Colorado. They'll get good field position after this, and they come after it. Mahoney pulls it down and avoids the block. And it bounces at the 40-yard line, but it could have been worse for Fresno State, Tim. A 27-yard punt, but that could have been blocked.
See Mahoney now sitting back shaking his head like Dilfer, saying, where in the heck are these guys coming from? Well, every time they come and there's a lot of heat. If it's not Wolford or Rogers, it's a special teams guy like Hudson or Mitchell. Watch 47, see if he comes in. Here comes number 4. Well, I tell you what, that's a great play by Mahoney.
It sure is. Eric Mitchell was right there, and Mahoney pulled it under and ran up. Colorado with the ball on the 40-yard line. 1st down and 10 out of the offset I. Rashaan Salam breaks a couple of tackles. He could go. Rashaan Salam, touchdown, Colorado.
Touchdown run.
We said they had an explosive running attack, and there you see evidence of it.
This guy averages 94 yards a game. Watch this. This is authority. Watch the block by 33 on the kick out. That's Hill. And he breaks 2 tackles, gets another block there from 72. That's West, and then does the rest himself. You know, he suffered a fracture in his left eye socket at the Oklahoma game, knocked everything loose. He's had double vision for a while, but now that's all worked out. He's running with authority. Huge game, 111 yards already for Rashaan Salam.
And he saw straight enough to run into the end zone.
Years the club's been taking this vacation. Maybe it should have been 24.
Welcome to Dollar. Something in a full size?
As long as there's room for my hog.
For as much room as you need. Rent from Dollar. They're right on the airport, right on the money.
All right, everybody, hands on the wheel at 10 and
Call your travel agent or 1-800-800-4000.
An international business class ticket, an international business class seat. So what's the difference? Continental's Business First. For the price of business class, you can enjoy the comfort of a sleeper seat and the service of first class. That's the difference.
The warmest aloha from the Sheraton hotels that call Waikiki Beach home. The Sheraton Waikiki, the Royal Hawaiian, the Sheraton Moana Surfrider, the Sheraton Princess Kaiulani. Let Sheraton turn the world's most famous beach into your own tropical paradise. Come, celebrate aloha with Sheraton. For reservations, call 800-325-3535.
When it comes to paint, we're making a name for ourselves. Because we make our own and guarantee its quality. That's Ace, the name to know for paint.
Hi, I'm Bill McCartney, head football coach of the Colorado Buffaloes. I'm here with my sons, Mark and Tom.
Hi, Christy. Hi, Mom. Hi, Timmy. Hi, Derek.
Hello, Grandma, Mimi, and Mike.
On behalf of the McCartney family, we'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and remind you that Jesus Christ, the Son of God, is the reason for the season.
Coach Bill McCartney, how can you tell those two guys are his sons, huh? Spitting images. 11:20 to play in the third quarter. The Buffaloes, McCartney's team, has just taken a 17-point lead. Virtue of that 40-yard run by Rashaan Salam, the second longest run in Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl history. Mitch Berger getting set to kick off. Malcolm Sebring back deep on his own goal line for Fresno State. is at the 15, taken by an up back. That's Jamie Christian. Christian brought down to the 27-yard line by John Knutson.
Knutson with a big tackle. I know there was no way Christian was going to lateral that ball like he did on the touchdown. Right now, they just want to hold on to it and try to generate some offense. Sweeney now has to know that he's not been able to stop Colorado, and probably won't. He's outmanned and mismatched. So that means he's got to get into a shootout. He's got to start scoring some points.
That front seven doing a fine job for the Buffaloes. Led by Rogers and Ron Woolfolk out of Detroit. Downfield, incomplete. Downstairs now to Jack Arute with more on Ron Woolfolk.
Well, actually, I've got his hero, his dad, Ron Sr. And Ron, his senior year for your son, you made a promise you were going to go to all of his games in Boulder, but you didn't get a chance to do that.
I know. I made the first game, which was Texas, and after that, I had some surgery that was done, and it was critical, and I was out for the rest of the season until the Iowa State game. But each week, Ronnie left a ticket for me in order for me, just in case Dad was able to get there. But unfortunately, I wasn't. But now everything is all right. I'm looking at his last game also here at the Aloha Bowl.
Let's go back and we'll talk to him a little bit more.
Okay, Jack. Dilfer now going back to pass and going up top. And it's almost intercepted by Dalton Simmons. Broken up nicely by the starting cornerback. Titus Winans was the intended receiver.
It's been forever since he's thrown an interception, but Dilfer does put this one up to be picked off. Simmons has great inside-out position. Both see it's an underthrown ball, and they try to adjust. Watch this, though. Simmons comes up, actually has the ball. That's a great play by Winans to knock it loose. He then became the defensive back and knocked it loose and prevented the interception. 297 passes now without a pick.
But facing 3rd and 10 right now.
Dilfer's hit only one of his last 7 passes.
Woolfolk in on the pressure, but the pass is completed at the 42-yard line, and a first down to Charlie Jones. Back downstairs to Jack Arute for more.
We've got a coach down here. He's been trying to coach his son, but you had a scare earlier this week while you were in Honolulu.
Yeah, I had some pain in my left shoulder, and I didn't know exactly what it was, and I just went and got it checked out. It was nothing, though.
Well, he looks in pretty good shape for a guy that just came off of open heart surgery, and I know this is an important Christmas for both he and his son. They're together, even if it was tough during the season.
I was going to say, Jack, he does look like he could play right now.
That's what Christmas time is all about.
I'll tell you this, it's a class family. We spent a lot of time with Ron this week.
And this is another Ron Rivers, to be exact, brought down at midfield, the 49-yard line. About 2 yards shy of the first down, but back to Ron Woolfolk. The other Ron, Tim, we watched him at the media conferences this week, really handles himself well with the media.
He really does, and handles himself well with everybody. I know my little guys were running around Waikiki Beach this week. A couple times ran into him. He remembered all their names, said hello to them, spent time with them. He's just a class guy. I mean, and you mentioned he was a finalist for the Butkus and Lombardi. He's an LT lookalike as far as his play is concerned. Remember last year, he had 13.5 sacks, led the Big 8.
First team all Big 8 this season. And flags down in the field.
Don't get down, baby. Let's
It is not delay a game. There's still time on the play clock. That was a problem early on for the quarterbacks to locate it.
Dead ball. Ball start on the offense. Still 2nd down.
Get it back. Let's go, baby. Go, Colorado.
That's Mary Gomez, one of the cheerleaders in Colorado.
Yeah, we've seen them practicing all week on the beach. Impressive. I'm disappointed Ralphie didn't make it, though. Jack Arute told us why earlier.
You know, that last run, 8 yards, is the best run of the game for Fresno State.
Dilfer back to pass, gets it off to Rivers, complete. Rivers with a nice juke and out to the 39-yard line of Colorado. A 15-yard pickup and a first down for the Bulldogs. Chris Hudson finally pushed Rivers out of bounds.
How can you watch Trent Dilfer and not be impressed? I'm positive he's coming out. There is a flag, a little discussion on the sidelines. I'm positive he'll be in the National Football League next year.
Dilfer did say that he was going to talk it over with his wife after this game.
Personal foul, late hit on the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
And they're tacking on more yardage after that reception for a personal foul.
Look at Jim Sweeney. Knows he's always in a ball game, no matter how late or how far behind he gets when he's got Dilfer. Here comes the personal foul. Here's the late hit and the push out of bounds.
You don't want to pick on Ron Rivers. A tough little guy, a wrestler.
I'll tell you what, though, Colorado's a feisty team. We watched them practice. They got into a few scuffles among themselves.
Nothing like a broken nose to charge the troops up a little bit, huh? Seabron in motion. Dilfer's going into the end zone. Malcolm Seabron, incomplete.
Seabron working on Simmons again. He had him beaten a little bit lighter on the pass, and it would have been a touchdown. He was open.
Let's talk about Dalton Simmons a little bit. He's been around the ball a lot this afternoon, Timmy. He's held up pretty well.
He really has. You know, he's matured nicely throughout the year, but here Seabron has him beaten. If this pass is thrown properly, it's a touchdown. Dilfer knows he put a little bit too much on. He says, oh, man, Seabron separated from the defender, came clear, and I missed him. It's all right. He's 17 for 28, 248 yards.
Came into the game completing over 65% of his passes. Second down and 10. The inside handoff. Ron Rivers looking for something, and he'll be brought down for a huge loss back at the 43 by Liamidi. A loss of 19.
See, this is Ron Rivers underestimating the speed of Colorado. Feels like he's cut off. Now watch this. They string it out. He says, all right, I'm going back the back way. Liamidi gets a... Hartman got a nice block, but Liamidi right there used his great speed. Never did get cut off as anything. He gained on him and took him down from behind. Guarantee you, FSU does not see this kind of speed during the regular season.
Not in the Western Athletic Conference. And Dilfer is hot because there's some miscommunication down on the field, and he's forced to call a timeout.
That's 2 timeouts that have been wasted here in the third quarter. They only have 1 left, and if they get back in this ball game, they're going to need that down the stretch. Dilfer now 300 straight passes without an interception. Phenomenal.
Well, Wednesday night on ABC, George Foreman is back as George. Who else? Now Wednesday at 8:30, 7:30 Central Time, right after Thea on ABC. Fresno State, speaking of George and boxers, looking for the right punch right here. They trail 27-10. And finally, the sun beginning to peek out from in back of the clouds here in Honolulu at Aloha Stadium. We really have had an outstanding week. The Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl people run a fantastic show here along with their various charities.
Lenny Klompus, Marcia, they do a great job, don't they? They sure make it comfortable for us.
And for the players. And you know, if you're not playing for the big one, talking about the national championship, I can't think of a better place to be. A lot of sights to see here. The Colorado team, in fact, had a mandatory trip to Pearl Harbor.
See the numbers on Trent Dilfer. I'll tell you something now. The first half, it was cloudy, which kept that sun away. It'll start heating up now. That surface, that field really holds the heat. That could become a factor here.
Daigle in the backfield. Dilfer.
Face mask.
Yeah, the flag will come out. Ron Woolfork would have had him anyway for the sack, but it happened so many times you just reach out and find face mask instead.
Ron knew it too. He didn't mean to do it, but got his hand caught up in there. Dilfer goes over and yells at him with his helmet off. I wouldn't do that.
A bad move. And Woolfork gave him the hang loose. We talked about Ron Woolfork. He's not a chippy player by any stretch. Clean player, good player.
See how he gets caught up in here. See, he just reaches back and his hand gets caught up. Tries to get it out, can't. They call it flagrant, though, and move it all the way down inside the 30.
man. So after losing 19, they get all that yardage back and an automatic first down. We would now like to pause 5 seconds to allow our ABC stations to identify themselves. I'm Mark Jones, along with Tim Brent and Jack Arute at Aloha Stadium in Honolulu, Hawaii. This is the 12th annual Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl. The score is 27-10. Colorado leading Fresno State, but the Bulldogs with the ball at the 28-yard line of Colorado. 3 wide receivers in now. The blitz coming. Dilfer gets rid of it. And what a grab by Daigle. Oh, he showed the heart of a lion into the teeth of the zone to hang on.
Gain of 27. Play was set up by Dilfer again. Faked the draw. Slid him through the middle and led him perfectly.
Fresno State.
You talk about hitting the seam. Watch this. All right, they fake the draw straight ahead. Come back. Number 2, the left hand of your screen is Daigle. Watch this. Right in between the 2 defenders. Threads it nicely in that seam. They put it down on the 1. Great pass. Tremendous concentration and catch.
They come out of their T-heavy formation. They run it. No signal as of yet, and yes, now it's a touchdown. Anthony Daigle.
Look at the top of your screen. Dilfer went over and started yelling at Wolfberg again, and Wolfberg said, hey, come on, and put his hand out and shook his hand.
Yeah, Dilfer doesn't want to do that. He's messing with the wrong guy.
Well, I tell you what, Trent may be doing that to fire himself up because he's trying to get everything he can here, maybe get an emotional edge, but Ron Wolfberg wants none of it.
He's not going to be intimidated either. McCartney, with cause to be just a touch concerned, we've seen some late leads slip away from Colorado in the second half during the course of the year. Mahoney now with the extra point, and it's blocked.
That can be returned. They try their own lateral, but it was down.
Kerry Hicks with the block for Colorado. So the NCAA record holder for extra points, Derek Mahoney, has one blocked.
Big play by Daigle, made the catch, got it down to the 1. Here comes Hicks. Watch Hicks come through the middle now. He'll block this thing. It becomes a live ball and can be returned. Hicks knocks it out. They pick it up. This is great coverage, though, by FSU. And all of a sudden, the Bulldogs back in this thing. This could get fun.
Anthony Daigle making it 27-16. The Bulldogs still in it.
No little cinnamon gum freshens breath longer than Big Red.
So kiss a little longer, hug a little longer, stay close a little longer, longer with Big Red. That Big Red freshness that's right through it. Your fresh breath goes on and on. While you chew it, say goodbye a little longer. Make it last a little longer. Give your breath long-lasting freshness with Big Red. It's never fun to eat and run, rush and eat too fast, 'cause you know it's gonna catch up with you at last.
For acid indigestion or heartburn with headache, nothing's faster than Alka-Seltzer.
Get yourself some Alka-Seltzer and you'll feel better fast.
Enemy in the open.
If the communications data isn't programmed right, 5,000 troops could be cut off.
Enemy forces scattered.
But I'd never let that happen to my brigade.
Get an edge on life in the Army.
It's the most magical time of the year, the holiday season, and your Jeep and Eagle dealers are working some magic of their own with an incredible zero-down holiday sale. Make no down payment and still save up to $1,500 on Jeep Grand Cherokee V8. Get big savings on Eagle Vision and save over $1,100 on Jeep Cherokee Sport. So hurry in and enjoy that magical feeling only the holiday season can bring. The zero-down holiday sale ends December 31st, so see your dealer today.
ABC Sports coverage of the 1993 Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl brought to you by Jeep and Eagle, a division of the Chrysler Corporation. And Edge Shade Gel. Ultimate closeness, ultimate comfort. That's the Edge.
One of our cameramen on beach patrol at Waikiki Beach, right in front of the Royal Hawaiian at the Sheraton Waikiki. Tim and I have a couple of parking spots there still, huh?
Call that Marco Vision.
The Beach Cam on ABC. James Kidd standing on his own goal line. It's 27-16 now. Colorado still with the lead. And Derek Mahoney kicking off from his 35. Had his extra point blocked. Kidd 1 yard deep. Out to the 21-yard line, a 22-yard return. Let's take a look at that scoring drive by Fresno State. 9 plays, 72 yards, using up 3:17 on the clock. But one critical penalty in that drive, Tim.
Absolutely. It was the key play in that drive. Dago, of course, was a 1-yard touchdown run. He also made the big catch to get it to the 1. But the biggest play, it was 3rd down and 29 yards to go after the big catch from behind on Ron Rivers, the loss, the sack. 3rd and 29 to get a face mask on Ron Wolford gives him an automatic first down. They scored 2 plays later.
Lamont Warren and James Hill out of the offset eye. 1st down and 10, 7:56 remaining in the period. Stewart fires complete to Charles Johnson for the 1st down. CJ from San Bernardino, California. Speaking of Charles Johnson, Jack Arute has more on him.
Well, Mark, normally when you come to Hawaii, you bring your sneakers or you bring your sandals. Not the case with Charles Johnson. What he did is he brought a very special pair of shoes. In fact, he showed up to depart Boulder with a special pair of fuzzy bear slippers. Now, he lent them to me today. He said he bought them because he likes them. I'll tell you what, they're really comfortable. You may not get them back.
Give the guy his shoes back, Jack. It doesn't matter what kind of shoes this guy wears. He can play football.
I'll tell you right now, lose the shoes.
Lamont Warren on 1st down. Warren out to the 43-yard line.
2 plays, 2 first downs. That'll be close to 1 anyway. They'll move the chains, I do believe. But again, the same problem exists. Fresno State just cannot stop Colorado's offense.
And in a game seen earlier here today on ABC, the gray side defeating the blue 17-10 in the Kelly Tire Blue-Gray All-Star Classic. And in NFL action, San Francisco, the 49ers, and Houston deadlocked at 0 in the 2nd quarter. Boy, what a year the Phoenix Suns are having. Everyone's talking about Houston and Seattle, but they are slowly creeping up on people. 7:12 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
This ball close enough to measure, but a couple of the wires of the headsets of the coaches are wrapped up in the chains, and they can't get the chains out here. They got to unwrap everybody.
Look at Bill McCartney's coaching staff on the
side. Look at this mess. Now they've got the chains loose. Now they'll bring them across. I've never seen that before.
McCartney with just 1 bowl win coming into this game, but that one was a big one. It was a national championship victory.
Should have enough for the 1st. He does. 2 plays, 2 first downs for Colorado.
They'd rather be here than Boulder right now. Weather a lot more auspicious. 2 tight end formation. Embry and Fourier lining up for Colorado. Ron Warren is the single tailback. Flags down, probably offside against Fresno State. Warren will lose a yard on that play. Ron Papazian making the tackle.
They were coming on the stunt. I think they tried to anticipate and just jumped a little bit early.
Offsides on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's something that the defensive coaching staff talked about for Fresno State. Showing some stunts, some different looks up front, but so far it really hasn't had much of an effect.
No, they've tried. They've tried. They knew they were outmanned. They knew they were overmatched. They knew that they didn't have the strength up front that Colorado has. They said we've got to move. We've got to give Cordell Stewart a lot of different looks. We've got to finesse them, use our quickness, move them around, slant. They've tried to do everything. Haven't been able to do it so far.
Colorado with 175 yards total rushing compared to -40 for Fresno State. on the inside handoff. Breaks 2 tackles and is brought down at the 46 by Sam Watson.
It's a great cut by James Hill. They ran the counter. He had all the big linemen in front of him going left. He came back to the right side. All of a sudden started going against the pursuit and picking up yardage. You know, Hill entered the fall listed #1 on the depth chart. Played in all 12 games last year. Would have liked to have had more playing time this season, but he went over 100 yards in the Fiesta Bowl against Syracuse. He's a quality running back.
Yeah, a local product out of Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Parade High School All-American. This drive, 3 plays, 3 first downs.
Charles Johnson lining up to the near side of the field. Warren on the handoff. He'll lose a few yards.
Omar Stottmeyer again. Every time there's been a tackle in the backfield, it seems number 18, Stoutmeyer, was there.
Yeah, he's had a good afternoon. Just a freshman at 5'11", 195 pounds.
Here's the offensive line. You'll see that they're pretty well controlled, and they try to run a trap here. They get good penetration inside, and there's Stoutmeyer, 18. 400 pounds in the bench press, 4.4 speed. He's going to be a terrific player.
Johnson and Westbrook split to the top of the screen and whistles and a few flags.
Well, again, Fresno State jumped off sides, but they're saying they were drawn off by the Colorado offense. See if the officials buy into it. I think there was movement on the top left-hand side of Colorado's line.
Dead ball, false start on the offense, still second down.
It is against Colorado.
I was talking about Bill McCartney earlier. He's a man of conviction. Speaking with him earlier, he really believes that. Interestingly, I'll continue that story in just a moment as we look at the score. The Oilers taking a 3-0 lead in the second quarter over the 49ers. Approaching 5 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Stewart back to pass. Westbrook. And he overthrows it. Tommy Jones providing the coverage.
I'll tell you something. Stewart did everything he could to get rid of that ball. Papazian came on the inside stunt and was all over Cordell Stewart. I don't know how Cordell threw it so far, but watch 95. Papazian like a rocket. Gets to him just as he unloads.
Coach Sweeney calls him the assassin.
He has the fastest football speed of anybody in that front seven. I'll tell you that right now. Sideline to sideline, you don't get many guys faster. Transfer from the University of Pacific. Set the single season record.
Said that he came to Fresno State because he wanted to play the top teams in the country like Colorado. He's coming on a blitz. Colorado picks it up, and Charles Johnson is downfield, but it's incomplete. Broken up by number 19, James Burton, and Omar Stottmeyer.
Yeah, see, Burton will strut his stuff now and point at him and everything, and he ended up making a pretty nice play. But he didn't look back for the football. CJ came back and actually had the catch, and that's when Burton said, oh, my, and then raked it out of there.
Talk about Burton being a good man-to-man coverage guy. He said that he came to Fresno State because of the style that they played, Tim. That pro style of defense.
Watch this, though. He doesn't locate the ball. The catch is almost made, and then he comes back and rips him down and takes it out.
Berger into punt, standing on his 31-yard line. It's off the low line drive spiral at the 10. Charlie Jones. Brought down to the 13.
Mark, you watch this game and you feel like Colorado is in complete control, like it's a blowout. Then you look at the scoreboard and say, wait a minute, it's 27-16, and it's only third quarter.
And a flag down on the far side of the field at 28. Berger looks like he's hurting a little bit.
To the goal line, 1st and 10.
It's holding against Fresno State. We'll move it back a little bit.
Put it back at the 7-yard line, so Dilfer's going to have to be careful not to get sacked if he drops back in that end zone. He likes to drop back deep.
Fresno State has been a little sloppy, something that will give Jim Sweeney a few more gray hairs. But talked earlier about the affection that his players have for him. It is genuine and it is sincere.
It's the worst starting field position for the Bulldogs today.
Look at the Colorado contingent. And Jim Sweeney was really very funny and entertaining at the banquet, too. Getting up and dancing at the head table. First down and 10.
Dilfer from out of the end zone. No, you talk about Jim Sweeney's sense of humor. I caught up with him at the beach. I asked him about some of his experiences and about all that dancing. Listen to what he had to say.
Oh, he's had a great week. Every time the football players are around me in jovial situations like after the game or whatever, they get this thing going. Sweeney, shake your booty, booty, booty. And then when they do that, I might do anything. So the first night we're here, I'm down by the pool. The players are all up there in the hotel. Everybody's about ready to go to bed 10:30, and all the players out on the balcony say, Sweeney, shake your booty, booty, booty. They got me fired up, and I dove in the pool. But the hearing aids, the wallet, and all. So that was a great night. The security people from then on have been pretty regular in their watch with me.
Yeah, his wife's been watching a little bit closer, too.
Hope he didn't have a short circuit when he jumped into the pool. Incomplete. Intended for Sebron at the 22-yard line.
Terrific guy. Class act.
He's taken his team to bowl games in 5 of the last 6 years.
Yeah, you know what? We joke about it. He's got that great sense of humor, but he's a big-time coach. He's been successful in every level from high school to the NFL. Currently has 13 former players in the National Football League. He's the real deal and a nice man.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, Tim, to see him inducted into the Football Hall of Fame at some point.
No, I agree with that. Right now, Trent Dilfer's his problem. Dilfer's had hit only 2 of his last 9, and he's backed up here.
4.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Out of the end zone. Lots of time. Complete, and now fumbled. Colorado with the ball. Touchdown, Buffaloes. Donnell Liamidi.
Dilfer pleading with the back judge, saying he was down. Come on. Said the fumble didn't occur. It was either incomplete or the ground caused the fumble, but they're not buying it. It's a touchdown. Colorado, and once again, 4th turnover of the game. 4th time Fresno State has put it on the ground, and Colorado's capitalized. All right, let's watch Lee Harris and see what happens here. First of all, out of the end zone, Dilfer finds him again in the seam of the zone. Here comes the hit. That ball was loose. That is a fumble. It's a good no call by the officials. Picked up. And Liamidi takes it the distance.
Chris Hudson, Tim, was the one to poke it loose. And then Liamidi did it from there. Berger with the extra point, and Trent Dilfer is hotter than the month of July in Hawaii.
Well, part of this is out of frustration. He's trying to say he either had an incomplete or the ground caused the fumble, and that can't occur. So it should be FSU's ball, but he's wrong. We saw the replay. It was definitely a fumble. That's a good no call by the officials. Touchdown stands.
And Colorado now with a 34-point offensive explosion in this ball game, and still plenty of time to go.
Show you that play again. You'll see Lee Harris at the top right of your screen, number 6, get back into the zone. Okay, now he finds the open area behind the linebacker underneath the safety. Now the ball's loose right there. See Hudson hit it with his left hand, knocked it loose, and here comes Liamidi. That's a good touchdown and great alert play by the Buffaloes. 24 points off turnovers today.
A monument to opportunism. Berger's going to kick off to Malcolm Sebron.
Can't put the ball on the ground 4 times and expect to win.
Mitch Berger's been busy kicking off and kicking field goals today. He's from Canada, North Delta, British Columbia. And he kicks this one 6 yards deep in an All-American year last year.
Sebron
For more on Mitch Berger, downstairs to Jack Arute.
Well, Mark, you and Tim were trying to determine whether maybe Mitch was hurt or not. one of the sources within the Colorado team said, yeah, his thumb, you know, he just got off of surgery, and in fact, he wasn't projected to be a punter here for this game. Well, his thumb is beginning to bother him because he's getting an awful lot of work. They say, though, that Berger wants to stay in the game and do all of the duties. He's a senior. He knows that he doesn't have much playing time on Saturdays left, and he's trying to prove a point, hopefully, so he can play on Sundays.
You would think that that's pretty much in his future. As I mentioned, he was an All-American last year, averaged over 47 yards a punt. Dilfer passing and hits Ron Rivers. Rivers with a first down right at the 30-yard line. Tackled by Dalton Simmons.
Guys have to protect the football. 4 fumbles, 4 turnovers by FSU. You know, the wide receivers this year for the Bulldogs caught 156 of 167 catchable balls, which means if Dilfer gets it close, they'll probably make the catch. And coming into this game, they hadn't turned the ball over very much. Plus 16 in that margin.
34-16, under 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Complete to Lee Harris that time, out to the 43-yard line. And another first down, a pickup of 13 yards. You know, Mitch Berger, as I said, averaged over 47 yards a punt last year. The tendency, Tim, is for people to think, well, yeah, well, Colorado's at altitude. He's going to have a higher average. But the thing to remember is that his average was over 46 yards away from Boulder, Colorado. So that vindicates and justifies his strong leg. Fellow Canadian. Getting his kicks today. Ron Rivers on first down gains about 5 yards out to the 49. Rivers first team All-Western Athletic Conference.
Bulldogs have been able to move the ball effectively between the 20s. Have not been able to put a whole lot on the board. 16 points.
Colorado 4th in the nation in turnover margin, but they've been on the positive end of 4 of them today.
Yeah, see, the most surprising thing to me is look at Fresno State, 2nd in the country in turnover margin. I mean, they don't turn it over very often. Yet today they have given it away. Only 15 giveaways this season, 10 fumbles, and they've had 4 here.
Dilfer passing again. Jamie Christian complete right at the first down marker at the 47-yard line. Jamie Christian took 9 hours of courses during the summer semester and was hence and subsequently ruled ineligible, and he just recently became eligible.
Last Saturday, as a matter of fact, is when he became eligible. Had to sit out. They got him a jersey, and he's playing today.
Third down and 1. On the naked bootleg, Dilfer keeps it, but there was a whistle earlier. Easy to get that first down when everyone else is stopped, huh?
Yeah, he looks up and he says, hey, what's the matter? He's complaining about everything right now. He's frustrated. Actually was complaining in warm-ups. He didn't like the way he was throwing. He was hitting his helmet and doing all kinds of things. I think he gets himself emotionally ready for that. With that.
There was no flag on the play. Replay, third down. Replay, third down.
Well, one thing that Trent Dilfer wasn't recruited as, Tim, is a running back. Look at this.
No, but I tell you, he won the argument. He could be a lawyer. Won the argument. They're going to mark it right here where he fell. And that'll be close to a first down, right about, half foot short.
Yeah, but he tripped over the 40-yard line that time. Third-team All-American, Trent Dilfer. 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Ron Rivers stopped up at the line of scrimmage.
He may have lost a yard.
Not sure that he made it. They're going to bring the chains in to measure. Oh, they did give it to him. New Year's Day, it's a college football bowl triple header here on ABC Sports. First, Penn State tackles Tennessee in the Comp USA Florida Citrus Bowl. Then in the Rose Bowl, Wisconsin makes its first trip to Pasadena in 31 years when they battle UCLA. And undefeated West Virginia stakes its claim to the national championship when they meet Florida in the USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl, all New Year's Day right here on ABC Sports. Jim Sweeney's team trailing 34-16 on play action. Dilfer trying to get some back. It's David Dunn who gets rocked at the 25 by number 46, Ted Johnson. Yeah, hey, Dunn will tell you it's a first down.
Gain of 22 again. Dilfer with a very nice pass. David Dunn knows how to find that seam and separate from defenders. Watch this. Gets by the bump and run. That was Matt Russell, the linebacker. He ran right by him. Looked like Russell was in man coverage, and he expected to get some help from the man free in the secondary. That ball was perfectly thrown. 9 catches now, 150 yards.
And Dunn showing some strength there, Tim, running over Maurice Enriquez, the DB. Trent Dilfer, the quarterback, one of the few married players on the team. Incomplete to David Dunn. For more on Trent Dilfer, here's Jack Arute.
You know, Trent is one of the players that's married, and this is his wife, Cassandra, and you've had a great week here for Christmas, but being married to a student athlete, how difficult is it, Cassandra?
Well, I was a student athlete myself. I swam for 3 years for Fresno State, and this year I'm working so that we can make it being married. If I was swimming still, then I wouldn't be here this week in Hawaii. We had a really great time. Both of us were a little bit sick, but Trent's doing great, obviously, and we're just having a real good time.
I'm going to ask her the big question that everybody wants to know right after this play.
On the reverse, nothing doing. I don't think so. Says number 93, Darius Holland, back downstairs to Jack and that question.
Well, Cassandra, you know, everybody wants to know whether Trent is going to come out and elect to go to the NFL and try and play on Sundays. He says he's not going to do anything until after this game, and he talks to you. What do you think is going to happen, and has he talked to you about it?
Well, of course, we have discussed it, but we won't make a decision for a short while after the Aloha Bowl.
What do you think the things are going to be that will determine whether he will go or stay?
I don't really know. I don't think how he plays in this game is really going to determine it or not. Just what it would be like next year, either place.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much.
Complete down to the 8-yard line. Charlie Jones on Maurice Enriquez. Jones taking the elevator to the top floor and coming up with a 23-yard pickup and a first down.
Big play. I tell you, she did a nice job, didn't she? She's more like a defensive back. She's deflecting all of Jack's
hard, isn't he?
Oh, man. Look at this pass by Dilfer, though. He was throwing this one off balance, and again, just finds the open area for Jones. Jones, 41 receptions coming into this game. He's the big play guy, and over 1,000 yards all-purpose.
David Dunn lining up at tight end. 2 backs in, Daigle and Rivers. A waggle into the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Winans. He came down with it, but he was out of bounds.
That would have been a tough adjustment for anybody, though. Winans tried to adjust to get to the corner. The ball was just out of his hands.
Dilfer already with 40 attempts and 24 completions. More importantly, a record 366 yards in the Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl.
Right, that's a Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl record, 366 yards. Look at him. He's frustrated right now. He's standing in the huddle. He's watching that clock move.
I disagree with his wife. I think that this game does have a big effect on him. You would think he'd want to have a good performance in front of the country.
He finally takes his last time out. That's going to be critical. They have none left now if they make a comeback in this game in the fourth quarter. 34-16. They're ready to score again to bring it even closer, but they'll have no timeouts left in the fourth quarter. He's frustrated because the play clock was down to 5.
Corning presents an exciting debut, Pink Plus, a new insulation that's silky to the touch. The reason? Pink Plus is our famous pink fiberglass insulation wrapped in smooth pink poly, which also makes it extra easy to install. So get in touch with a premier insulation. For the Pink Plus dealer nearest you, call 1-800-GET-PINK.
Listen, it's a credit card. It does not make you a superhero. Actually, maybe it does. I mean, no card is more accepted on the planet, so you can use it for practically anything, like plane tickets. So you could fly like a superhero, or at the hospital, so you'd have x-ray vision. And you can use it to get cash at ATMs all over. So in any situation, you can just say, stand back, I'll handle this. So maybe MasterCard could make you a superhero. All you need now is a secret identity. MasterCard, it's more than a credit card. It's smart money.
New Year's Day on ABC Sports begins with the 105th Tournament of Roses Parade. Then our college football triple-header kicks off when number 6 Tennessee tackles Penn State in the Comp USA Florida Citrus Bowl. Followed by the Rose Bowl as Big Ten champion Wisconsin makes its first appearance in 31 years. They'll face Pac-10 champ UCLA. And that night, undefeated West Virginia stakes its claim to the national title when they take on SEC champ Florida in the USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl. It's all New Year's Day on ABC.
Well, Santa Claus did a good job at our household, Tim. Dropped off a few presents this morning. I'm sure he did the same at yours.
It's amazing. He'll find you anywhere in the world.
Wind him up, and he keeps going and going. 26 seconds to play in the third quarter. Fresno State with the ball, second down. Into the end zone. Touchdown. Titus Winans.
That's Winans' first catch today, and it's a touchdown.
Dilfer delivered a dart that time, too. Quick drop and delivered.
I was going to say that play's virtually impossible to stop. 3 steps, you can't get pressure on him. Quick slant, so tough for the DB to go inside out. He's got to stay outside and force him back into where he's got help in that coverage. That ball was perfectly thrown, and they're going to go for 2.
He worked on the starting cornerback, Maurice Enriquez, the freshman.
22 seconds to go in the third quarter. They get this 2-point conversion. They're within a touchdown and a field goal.
56 points scored to date. Sebron in motion into the end zone. Has a man open. Touchdown. Anthony Daigle. They get the 2.
Talked about a well-designed play. It's a play you see often in the run and shoot attack. They clear out, bring the receiver under behind it. It's a 10-point game.
.22 seconds to play in the third quarter.
But again, keep in mind, Fresno State has no timeouts left. Look at the receivers clearing out. That's almost like a pick. See Winans there, shoving the man out of the way. Then you bring Daigle underneath. Well-designed play.
Pick's a 4-letter word.
All right, it's a rubbo.
Dilfer looks just a touch fatigued today. You wonder if that flu has had just a little bit of an effect on him. Mind you, offensively and statistically, he's been stellar. James Kidd back deep on his own goal line. That high-scoring game that we talked about is materializing. Mahoney getting ready to kick off for Fresno State. Both teams coming into this game on 3-game winning streaks, respectively. 4 yards deep, Kidd will kneel down.
Kickoff down in the end zone by James Kidd.
Kidd, one of those speedy 4-3 wideouts for Colorado. Well, coming up on Monday Night Football on ABC, the Miami Dolphins are going to try and get back into playoff contention. They take on the San Diego Chargers. It all starts 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC. Keith Jackson having another fine year for Miami. As Tim intimated, Fresno State with no timeouts remaining. Hill and Warren out of the offset eye for Colorado. Lamont Warren out of Dorsey High School in Los Angeles out to the 25. It's tackled by Brad Bell. 9 seconds remaining now in the third quarter.
Looked like Colorado was going to let the clock go out at the end of the period, but they've got a player that's injured, and that stops it with 9 seconds left.
Naoli down in the field.
Got 58 points already, and that's a Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl record. So a lot of records now starting to fall. Or fall, however you say it.
Haven't had a chance to see the sun yet today. Let's go downstairs now to Jackaroo.
Well, you know, Naoli was not slated to start this game, as you know, gentlemen. In fact, he was a late starter. And one of the main reasons was because his family is here. He's from Hawaii, and this was a chance to come home. But even more importantly, Chris Naoli's birthday is December 25th, 1971.
Well, happy birthday to you, Chris. Hope you get better. Hope you're all right.
That's a good story. He didn't just start, though, because, well, he did. Jack is exactly right. The point I was going to make is he was scheduled to share time, though, with Craig Anderson. So he was going to get a lot of playing time. They think so highly of him. Redshirt freshman. Got a bright future.
The reindeer still at work. That's not a reindeer. 34-24. We'll return with more action from the Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl after this word from our ABC stations.
After you shave, now there's comfort to the power of 3. It's soothing Edge Aftershave with 3 soothing formulas for 3 specific skin types. An aloe formula that's alcohol-free to soothe sensitive skin. Extra moisturizers to soothe if your skin is dry. And a cool vitamin E splash for normal skin. Soothing better than ever with the power of 3. Edge Aftershave skincare for men. Ultimate comfort. That's the Edge.
Leaving your job means deciding where to put your retirement distribution. Rolling it into an IRA is smart, but paying annual fees and mutual fund sales charges at the start can set you back. To put all your money to work, roll it into a Schwab no annual fee IRA. You can choose from over 200 mutual funds and pay no sales charges. And this performance guide is yours free when you open an account. So to make all your rollover money work for you,
maybe it's time to come to Schwab.
Tony meets a Scrooge.
She's a vagrant, Scally. She has to go.
All she wants to do is find a place to sleep.
Do your job. I quit.
Saturday, it's the commish.
Tired of the same old boring New Year's Eve house party? This year, take a walk on the wild side. Call your cable operator and party with the king, Howard Stern. Invite Howard into your living room this New Year's Eve on pay-per-view. Or go back to the same old tired house party. Howard Stern's New Year's Eve party, live on pay-per-view.
Find out which one of these girls is a man.
If a pizza with 3 toppings costs $10.99, what would I pay for 6 toppings? Well, $10.99. The reason is...
It's Big 5! The Bigfoot Big 6 Pizza. Get our special 6 toppings for the 3-topping price of $10.99.
Are you sure you're the Pizza Hut guy?
Bigfoot from Pizza Hut. A legendary value.
Happy holidays. And you too.
Just a reminder from the Colorado Lottery that life's not all fun and games.
Big family day out here this afternoon. Back to the start of the fourth quarter now. Colorado with the ball, first down and 10. Lamont Warren turning it upfield. Warren over midfield down to the 48 of Fresno State. A 26-yard pickup and a first down for the junior.
It's amazing to me the success offensively that Colorado has had running the football. Watch Stewart now explode off this block by Hill and then cut back against the grain. Now it's like running downhill because he's going against the pursuit.
You talked about their success running. They've only passed the ball 12 times.
Cordell Stewart comes to the line. He counts. He reads the front 8. When he calls the play to the side, he thinks he can outnumber you, overload, outblock you.
Salam that time, Tim, brought down by Gene Smith. Pardon me, scratch that. That's Lamont Warren. Third quarter took a long time on the clock. There's a look at the third quarter statistics.
Look at the 374 passing yards for Fresno State. And then the 182 yards jump out at you as rushing for CU. Big thing, 4 turnovers.
On the blitz.
Bulldogs.
A nice flanker screen. Michael Westbrook. He can make it happen after he catches it. Westbrook finally brought down at the 5-yard line.
Gave Tommy Jones a stiff arm, and Jones had to grab the back of his jersey and pull him down by the pads.
Westbrook, the second leading receiver on this Colorado team, but he's most dangerous after he makes the reception, a 43-yard pickup.
You know, last year he had 76 catches because he was what he calls the hot receiver on the blitz. Here they go underneath to him on the little flanker screen tight. They take him outside, look at him move. Now watch the end of this. He gives a good stiff arm right here to Jones, and then Jones with his left hand pulls him down from the back of the shoulder pads.
Westbrook out of Detroit, Michigan. Here's Rashawn Salam cutting back and into the end zone. Touchdown Buffaloes.
It's amazing. Colorado, every time Fresno State gets close, Colorado just jams it down their throats.
Rashawn Salam with another touchdown for Colorado, his second of the afternoon.
Well, what a threat. Westbrook and Johnson, they had 1,000 yards each last year. Only the 4th pair of college teammates who have 1,000 yards receiving. But with more balance and more runs, their numbers drop, but you can see the talent. Westbrook with that big gain to set up that touchdown.
Salam scoring 18 points. That ties a Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl record. Berger's extra point is good. And so far, Colorado's looking good. They lead 41-24.
(1847). Werner Siemens opens his first factory and begins to manufacture the world's most advanced telegraph. That was then. This is now. Today, Siemens has 60 factories all across America, with over 15,000 manufacturing people turning out an astonishing variety of high-tech electronic and electrical products with quality American industry can count on. Siemens, precision thinking.
Oh, my back hurts and I had a game this afternoon, so I'm taking Advil. More doctors recommend Advil by name to relieve backaches than any other brand. With Advil, a sore back won't keep me from swinging. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
I'm getting older, so I have to push myself just a little bit harder.
Introducing a new, hard-working Power Stick. Now with more odor fighters per stroke than ever.
Hey, that's better for me and everybody else.
New Power Stick from Fabergé, the most powerful Power Stick ever.
Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please. Just help me this once, and I'll never ask for anything again. Ever. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Next time, get a dependable Interstate battery. We check them before you buy them for fresh power. Guaranteed.
Undefeated West Virginia stakes its claim to the national title when they meet SEC champion Florida. It's the USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl, New Year's night on ABC.
Just underway here in the fourth quarter. Colorado leading Fresno State 41-24. I'm Mark Jones along with Tim Brand and Jack Arute. And a Merry Christmas from all of us at ABC, including many talented people behind the cameras that you never get a chance to see. Zebra, 8 yards deep, will take the touchdown.
Again, no return. Bring it out to the 20 and just get it in Trent Dilfer's hands.
Mitch Berger's been a big weapon for Colorado today. Look at that scoring drive, 5 plays, 80 yards, using up 149. And, of course, the big play was that Michael Westbrook catch and run.
Now, I think Michael Westbrook will be back next year to play.
He's come back and come out and said as much.
And I tell you what, I think it's good for him, too. I think another year of college football will help him.
Dilfer back to pass. Finds a receiver at the 35. That's Sebron, who steps out of bounds with a first down and a 15-yard pickup. Take a look at the scoring by quarters. In the third quarter, each team scoring 14 points.
It's been an even ball game all the way through. Turnovers have made the big difference. 4 by Fresno State. I know we've said that countless times, but it's because Colorado has scored almost every time they get one, and that's been the difference.
Split back formation this time. Dilfer has it batted down at the line of scrimmage. Kerry Hicks was one of the front 7 that got a big pop there, knocked it down. Kerry Hicks, really an outstanding athlete at 6'6", 260 pounds, just a sophomore. Hicks was a great high school basketball player. And earlier in the week, actually Thursday, he had a 102-degree temperature.
Yeah, that's something that went through both teams. Also went through our hotel and the ABC crew.
And yours truly right here.
Yeah, a couple of my little ones had it while they were here.
Three receivers out for Fresno State. Dilfer looking and looking, and good coverage that time in the secondary by Colorado. He fired incomplete for Sebron. And Dilfer ends up on his wallet.
Yeah, we got a little pushing and shoving going on here. That was a legal hit on Trent Dilfer.
Now, Colorado is going to be very careful in this situation, Tim, because they instituted a team rule after that brawl in the Miami game that anyone that got involved with a fight was automatically suspended for a game.
And that's exactly what happened to Dwayne Davis. He was the starting safety. He was suspended for fighting after the Iowa State game and did not make this trip. I'll tell you what, I don't blame that at all on Colorado.
And Bill McCartney really putting his foot down after that Miami brawl.
See, he's going to take Holland out and talk to him, but Holland did absolutely nothing wrong. He made a good tackle on Dilfer, and then the Fresno State guys came up and went face-to-face with him, but Holland kept his hands at his side.
McCartney with words of advice to Holland. Third down and 10 for Fresno State. The flanker screen to Jones. Jones will lose 2 yards. Brought down by Ted Johnson, number 46, a man who's been working the beach during the course of the week.
I'll tell you, Dilfer took another lick, too. He comes up a little bit shaky that time.
Loss of 2 on the play, 4th and 12 from the Fresno State.
So it's a 4th and 12 now for Fresno State. And Mahoney comes in to punt. Charles Johnson standing back at his own 24. Mahoney's been under a heavy rush most of the afternoon from the Buffaloes. Gets this one off, but it's not a great kick. Bounces at the 36. Johnson can't slide away and is brought down immediately. 38-yard punt, -1 on the return. We'll be back to Aloha Stadium after this.
You know, there's something peculiar about car advertising. Everyone likes to show their cars driving through water. Well, here's something different. The Eagle Vision TSI. Sure, it handles beautifully in all kinds of conditions thanks to its traction control and anti-lock brakes, but right now we just want you to take a good look. And if you were wondering how this Eagle Vision looks when it's not underwater,
Jim Fansler's cold won't give him a minute's rest. But he's about to break free with an effervescent rush of relief. Alka-Seltzer Plus Nighttime. It speeds powerful medicines to free your breathing, relieve your runny nose, soothe your aches, and quiet your cough so you can rest. All without alcohol. Nothing rushes relief like Alka-Seltzer Plus Nighttime.
There are many, many infants and young children who suffer from malnutrition. Children underweight and possibly undersized. In this country, there's just no excuse for that kind of tragedy.
We're grateful for American Express card members' support. Every time they use the card, they're not just going to be buying a meal or an airline ticket or an appliance or CD player or what have you. They're going to be buying a little piece of the fight against hunger.
You can help. Use the American Express card to join the charge against hunger till December 31st.
Charles Johnson coming to you from Hawaii, University of Colorado starting wide receiver. I'd like to say a special season greetings to Colorado fans and to my sister Christine, Sonia, and my mom. I'd like to say, Tanisha, I'm getting filmed out here on the beach. I'm not looking at none of these bikinis. I'm relaxing. They woke me up today. Come out here, and I want to let you know I'll be home tomorrow, and I'll see all you guys when I get there. I love you. Season greetings today.
Trying to get his story straight before anybody even asked him.
Not looking at any bikinis. One of those things that make you go.
Just sleeping, minding my own business, and ABC woke me up to make me work.
That's how it happened. Colorado with the ball. Stewart hands it off. Salam over the 30 out to the 33-yard line on 1st down and 10. Now at halftime in San Francisco, the Oilers with a 10-0 lead.
What a great story that is. Jack Pardee. I mean, they were talking about riding him out of Houston there when the season began. All of a sudden, they turned things around and started winning.
Warren Moon benched earlier, comes back.
Then a team with a lot of tragedy here in the last couple of weeks. And they seem to pull together and become a tighter unit.
Buffalo's out of the Big 8 looking for their 4th consecutive win. Salam over the left side this time. Brought down just shy of the 35 at the 34 by Brad Bell. Well, tomorrow, the biggest names from each of golf's tours go head-to-head to find out which tour is tops in the Wendy's 3-Tour Challenge. Greg Norman, Paul Azinger, and Lee Jansen head up the PGA team. From the Senior Tour, Jack Nicklaus, Chichi Rodriguez, and Ray Floyd team up. And the LPGA is represented by Nancy Lopez, Lori Merton, and Patty Sheehan. Coverage begins at 3 Eastern, 2 Central, and Pacific tomorrow here on ABC Sports. Stewart on the option to the near side of the field. He's got lots of room. Cordell Stewart down to the 28 and a 1st down for Colorado.
That play should have never even gained a yard. Chris Rockwell was there. He had quarterback responsibilities, had him wrapped up, and Cordell escapes. Cordell counts, sees he's got him outnumbered to this side. Now watch 98. Number 1, he's held, but then he overruns the play, doesn't break down, doesn't take the inside-out route, and misses the tackle. Cordell just turns it loose before Jones can catch him. Big game by Cordell, but poor tackling continues for the Bulldogs of Fresno State.
Ball at the 28-yard line now. Colorado with a total of 258 rushing yards today.
That's another Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl record.
Another option. This time he pitches to Salam. And Salam is brought down at the 25. Brought down by Sam Watson, who, by the way, started his college career, his football career, right here in Hawaii with the Rainbows.
Colorado's so tough offensively. I know they've had some inconsistencies defensively, but this is a defense, Colorado's, which is ranked in the top 10 for the last 9 years. Those inconsistencies had everybody a little bit concerned. Offensively, I don't think they've missed much. This is a club which had 3 losses this year. The losses by less than a touchdown each. So they look at this game as a way to get a little bit of retribution. They think that they're a better club and really should be playing in the Orange Bowl.
Out of the eye this time. James Hill up the middle. Stopped up right near the line of scrimmage. This game very important, Tim, also in the respect that you want to build a little momentum headed towards next year.
Well, and you know, this offense has put 41 points on the board, continues to move, and is moving toward the end zone here again. And this offense has 9 starters coming back next year. How impressive is that? I'll guarantee you, Colorado will be ranked in the top 5 in the preseason polls next year, and should be.
They've got a pretty tough schedule to start things off next year, so they'll have to prove it. Rashawn Salam over the right side, down to the 20-yard line. about 2 yards shy of the first down. Getting back to Colorado, Tim, we're looking at Cordell Stewart this afternoon, but there's a backup quarterback for the Buffaloes with a familiar last name who's got some talent, Coy Detmer.
Sure, Coy Detmer, redshirted this year. We saw him come in and bring Colorado back in a couple games last year, and he won the games for him. They love this kid. As a matter of fact, he has been running the scout team and being the guy that has been Trent Dilfer in practice. And they say, hey, the guy is so sharp, he's tearing us apart. But he definitely will put some pressure on Cordell Stewart in spring practice, and it just makes spring practice that much better.
Salam brought down at the 18, and he's right at the first down marker. They'll probably have to measure. Stoutmeyer in on the tackle, along with Andre Deshay for Fresno State. Again, Colorado just grinding it out on the ground. 8:13 to play here in the fourth quarter, and it's 41-24 for Colorado over Fresno State. And they didn't make it. So Fresno State takes over on downs. Jim Sweeney's team looking for that last gasp effort.
Dangerous anytime this guy's on the field. 25 for 41 today, 374 yards and a touchdown.
And here's a quarterback, Tim, who this year set 11 different school records. They trail by 17 right now, though, with 8:13 to play. Split backs behind Dilfer. Dilfer showing some good mobility. Incomplete, no flags, and yes, now one comes. Lee Harris was draped and brought down by Dalton Simmons.
I think that's a good call, too. Simmons actually hit his foot, which tripped him up. Certainly brought to the attention of the back judge by the sidelines of FSU. Watch this. Dilfer does everything he can to get out of the pocket and buy some time. Wait for a receiver clearing. Now watch this and see if Simmons doesn't hit the back of his foot to take him down right here.
Is that a catchable ball, though, Tim?
I think it is if he doesn't trip. Take another look and see if it's Simmons that actually makes him trip or whether he was stumbling anyway. Here comes Simmons now, catching up behind him. The ball right now is in the air. Now here comes Harris.
I didn't see him touch him.
I'm not sure he did touch him.
I didn't see Simmons touch him at all. Of course, the officials don't have the benefit of replay. Regardless, though, it's a first down at the 34-yard line for Fresno State. Hot down there on the sidelines.
Time definitely a factor. 8:05 to go. No timeouts left for FSU.
Complete to Christian, who's out to the 44-yard line and near another first down.
See, these guys, Mark, have to start making some decisions. If they see that they're going to get tackled, they've got to get out of bounds and stop the clock. They've got to start thinking now about being curators of clock and actually manage that thing better than they are.
Well, it is a first down.
But that'll only stop it long enough to move the chains. All right, now the chains will set, the whistle will blow, and they'll get back, and the clock will start going again.
David Dunn checking into the ball game. Charlie Jones coming out. Dunn has been one of the big keys for this Fresno State offense this afternoon.
Moved him in as a tight end because all their tight ends were hurt. So they moved him to tight end and moved Sebron up, and he has really flourished in that position.
But a play action by Dilfer under pressure and gets rid of it before being sacked. Sam Rogers was there. Wolfork was there. Darius Holland was there. Like a block party. Look at a score from yesterday in college football. The Big Eight having a good day. Oklahoma defeating Texas Tech 41-10.
Big day for Cale Gundy.
He voted the game's MVP. 7:29 to play in the fourth quarter. Winan split to the near side of the field. Winans is the intended target. That's got to be face guarded. And it is.
Pass interference once again.
Maurice Enriquez is the culprit for Colorado.
I don't know about face guarding, but it was definitely pass interference. Bumped him with the ball coming down.
Never saw Enriquez turn around. Here's another look, Tim.
Watch this. This ball was underthrown. Wine is now trying to adjust. See, he just bumps right into him and mauls him. That's pass interference. See, there's no face guarding going on, really. Just it's a mauling.
Call it what you want. It's pass interference. We'd like to pause 5 seconds right now to allow our ABC stations to identify themselves.
KUSA TV, a station of the Gannett Broadcasting Group.
At Aloha Stadium, I'm Mark Jones along with Tim Brent and Jack Arute. The score 41-24. Colorado out of the Big 8 leading the Wax Fresno State Bulldogs. Ron Rivers. Lots of room. Rivers out of bounds at the 13-yard line and a first down for the Bulldogs. Still plenty of time left for this offense. They're explosive. A 29-yard pickup for Ron Rivers, the senior.
What a great call that time. Colorado looked as if it was coming on the blitz. Wolford came outside on one side. They bring the draw. They just kind of release him inside. Rivers picks up the big gainer. Here's a guy that had over 1,400 yards this year. All conference. Set the Fresno State rushing record this season. Matter of fact, he dethroned Marshall Falk as the WAC rushing champion. 14 carries, 36 yards for Rivers today. It's been a frustrating day, but it's a big play there and a nice call by Sweeney.
Sal Mexico and Anthony Daigle out of the eye this time. Daigle going in motion. Flags down.
Play clock had expired again. Delay of game.
Again.
See, I blame that as much on Dilfer as I do the coaching staff. But in fairness to all of them, the play clocks here are difficult to see. The location is difficult. Look, I think Dilfer's complaining about it too. Here's Dilfer's reaction.
We said he was emotional and demonstrative.
Well, he is. He's a heck of a competitor. I love the guy.
They push the ball back to the 16. Dilfer reaching the 400-yard plateau passing. Looking to the wide side into the end zone. Incomplete and intercepted by Enriquez. Enriquez vindicating himself for that pass interference call.
First interception of Dilfer and 318 passes. That's a phenomenal record to throw it 318 times and not be picked off. This one's actually tipped. Ball's not poorly thrown, but it's great coverage. And here comes Enriquez. Tip drill. Bingo. Got it.
There's a problem with most dishwashers. No matter how hard you try, there's always something that doesn't quite fit in. Unless you have the new GE Profile dishwasher with smart rack design. Unlike the average dishwasher, you get over 20 different loading options that let you arrange pots, pans, and dishes with the greatest of ease. The GE Profile.
Mom.
A fitting end.
No problem.
To any meal.
The warmest aloha from the Sheraton hotels that call Waikiki Beach home. The Sheraton Waikiki. The Royal Hawaiian. The Sheraton Moana Surfrider. The Sheraton Princess Kaiulani. Let Sheraton turn the world's most famous beach into your own tropical paradise. Come, celebrate aloha with Sheraton. For reservations, call 800-325-3535.
As soon as a State Farm customer calls with a claim, I'm right on the phone to our claims center.
We work as partners. Nancy gives me the information, then I contact our customer.
We've settled hundreds of claims together. John's attitude is...
You got to be quick, and you've got to be fair.
Quick and fair.
At State Farm, teamwork is what it's all about.
We make a great team.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Catch a wave and ride the old pipeline, the North Shore of Hawaii. Is that Tim Brand out there or Jack Arute? No, couldn't be.
How about that? First interception in 319 attempts. He had 4 interceptions coming into this game this season. All 4 of those were in one game.
First down and 10 for the Buffaloes. Rashawn Salam. It's about 2 yards after running about 20. Ron Papazian making the tackle.
Looked like he was tap dancing on a light bulb.
Under 7 minutes to play here in the ball game. 41-24. The Buffaloes leading. Bill McCartney looking for just his second bowl win ever.
Yeah, but that first one he got was a doozy. That was a national title.
Charles Johnson on the out pattern, complete at the 28-yard line. He'll be a yard and a half short of the first down. He was covered closely by James Burton.
There was a lot of concern after that flurry of suspensions and defections that left Colorado a little shorthanded as to how the team would respond. We've talked with them, spent a lot of time with them throughout the week. It's a team that has drawn together, I think, in the face of adversity. I think Bill McCartney's done an outstanding job. He was really loose with them over here. Gave a lot of time to themselves, a lot of free time, and they've responded very well.
Backs out of the eye this time. Salam picking his way for the first down out to the 33.
Salam. Ahead for first down yardage.
Colorado Buffaloes with a lot of success over the past decade. Bill McCartney, a big reason why. You know, I don't think that you'll find a head coach that is more sympathetic to the needs of the black athlete than this guy right here. We had a nice talk this week, and he sets up a lot of community programs in Boulder, sensitivity studies with the Boulder Police Department, and his players really have a lot of affection for him as well. We talked about Sweeney and his players, but McCartney is well liked as well.
You saw another Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl record, the yards today. You know, looking at this Colorado running game, I think the offensive line is the most improved part of that football team. CU is 12th in the nation running the football. Last year the Buffs were 100th. That's a remarkable turnaround. And I think a great credit has to go to that offensive line led by big old Tony Birdie. He's only a junior. Irwin's a sophomore. Stoltenberg's a sophomore. Eola's a freshman, and Derek West is a junior. So all those guys coming back.
Yeah, Colorado every year, Tim, seems to make one adjustment to perfect that offense. And look at those rushing yards, 275 to -8.
Tribute to that offensive line.
Didn't get it done that time, though. Rockwell making the tackle back at the 30-yard line on Cordell Stewart.
Chris Rockwell, number 98.
Stewart, number 1 on Colorado's passing list. Number 2 in total offense. That's for 11 touchdowns and only had 7 interceptions this year.
You know what I think is impressive when looking at Cordell? As a starter at CU, his record now will go to 16-3-1.
Tough to beat. Back to pass. Over the middle and bounces it to Charles Johnson.
I'll tell you something else about Cordell, too. He's a neat little guy. He came up at the banquet the other night. It was a festive atmosphere and everything, and I got him by the door. You know, he apologized for his performance against Nebraska game we did out there. He said, I don't know what happened to me. I said, Cordell, you don't have to apologize to anybody. He says, well, I kind of struggled. I was in a different zone. It wasn't me out there. He says, I want to make up for that in this game. So,
Cordell Stewart from Marrero, Louisiana. And I'm still trying to book a hair appointment with him, the team barber.
You need to.
Get that fade tightened up a little bit. Mitch Berger into punt. End-over-end punt at the 35-yard line, where Charlie Jones calls for the fair catch. New Year's Day keeps on going. It's a college football bowl triple-header here on ABC. First, Penn State tackles Tennessee in the CompUSA Florida Citrus Bowl. Then, in the Rose Bowl, Wisconsin makes its first trip to Pasadena in 31 years as they take on UCLA.
Ladies and gentlemen,
the finale, Florida against West Virginia in the USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl. All New Year's Day right here on ABC. And Florida takes on West Virginia. That's going to be a nice one. Of course, you and I, Tim, will be down in Orlando. Get a look at Heath Schuler and the Tennessee Volunteers and Joe Pop, Penn State.
Speculation about Schuler coming out as well.
Daigle out of the backfield, complete, out to midfield at the 49. Pick up a 14 yards, but the clock is the Fresno State enemy right now. 4:18 to play. Simmons and Knutson making the tackle. Trent Dilfer, will he or won't he come back?
See these numbers now. These are impressive. 411 yards. They're impressive for Trent Dilfer. But the thing that's not impressive is the running attack for FSU, and that has been critical. You know that the Bulldogs are 8-0 when Rivers goes over 100 yards. Today, they're -8. That makes a difference. These two have to go hand in hand.
Sure does. A credit, though, to the Colorado front seven. Dilfer sacked by Sam Rogers. The fourth sack of the afternoon for the Colorado defense. Back at the 38-yard line. You knew Sam Rogers was ready to play in this game. He's another one of the married players for Colorado. One of the few, actually. He's over here with his wife and his little boy.
His son Aaron and his wife Leslie.
From Pontiac, Michigan.
Defensive MVP on that team. 9.5 sacks this year coming into this game.
Dilfer to pass. Complete at the 39-yard line.
Another catch for Lee Harris. He's had a great day. Gain of 22.
Let's go downstairs to Jack Arute.
Well, Mark, Ted Johnson, one of the linebackers for Colorado, has had a terrific day. You know, he grew up in Iowa City, Iowa, but moved to Carlsbad, California, and said he called himself a Midwestern surfer because he said he decided he would take up surfing when he went to California. So we took him out here at Waikiki Bay. He says he's a Midwestern surfer. Oh, now we know why he's a Midwestern surfer.
Looks like one of those guys in those old Digit movies. Here's a pass complete to Anthony Daigle down to the 16. And another first down for Fresno State. The guy's a fraud, though, isn't he?
No, he's not. Ted Johnson walked away from that and he says, man, that's embarrassing. ABC's killing me. They're killing my reputation.
Tim Ross making the tackle that time.
That's going to be holding against Fresno State.
You guys line up. Holding on the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
It hasn't been the type of day that Jim Sweeney wanted it to be. Still not giving up yet. His team trailing by 17 points with 3 minutes to play now.
To tag that story on Ted Johnson, after ABC did tape that, he went out and surfed the rest of the afternoon. Went out with Brian Cabral, one of the assistant coaches, who is the big kahuna.
Not bad.
Played for the Bears, special teams captain. He went out, he was surfing like crazy.
Daigle complete out of the backfield. Brought down to the 44. Yeah, they've been surfing, boogie boarding, touring. I've seen a lot of the Fresno State and Colorado players on those little motor scooters. Driving around town in little posses. They've enjoyed themselves this week. 2:15 to play now. Dilfer complete to Jones. He laid that right in there, Tim.
That ball was perfectly thrown. Again, caught him in the zone and hit him in the seam down the sidelines.
You'd rather be skiing.
Not.
I don't think so. Harris checking into the game for Winans now. In comes Malcolm Seabrook. and Charlie Jones.
I think Colorado accomplished almost everything he wanted to today. I think for Fresno State, it's going to be a huge disappointment. They thought this was a way to earn some credibility nationally going against Colorado. They really thought they could handle it, but they have struggled.
Dilfer throws it behind Ron Rivers. He got his hands on it, but he couldn't squeeze. This game does accomplish one thing for both programs. The fact that it's a national telecast, both programs and both coaches intimated to us that it was important for recruiting. The fact that both programs get a lot of exposure through this.
Yeah, but the difficult thing, according to the coaches, is when they do go to a bowl game, if in fact eventually there is a national championship, which will extend the season even longer, they lose recruiting time because they're tied up over here and don't have the time to go to the high schools and you know, meet the parents, that type of thing.
Got to get on that phone and phone it from Hawaii. Daigle on the dive. Under 2 minutes to play now. Ted Johnson and Matt Russell making the tackle for Colorado.
It's been a long football game. It's going on 4 hours now almost.
Fresno State's had a few of those, though. They're no stranger to 4-hour ball games. Daigle again. Breaks a couple of tackles down to the 10-yard line. Daigle, the all-time touchdown leader at Fresno State. At 34 coming into this game. Brian Dyed and Matt Russell in on the tackle.
53 passing attempts today. That too ties an Aloha Bowl record.
Bill McCartney in line to notch his second bowl victory of his career.
Bingo.
A quick slant and a touchdown for Fresno State.
That ball was perfectly thrown to Titus Winans. Winans was right there on the quick slant, and I mean that ball was right where it had to be. Led him, kept it low away from the DB. Oh, that was nice.
Good timing.
Just watch this. 1, 2, 3, bam, let it fly. Here comes the slant, can't stop it. That's nice.
Winans with his second touchdown reception of the day. Lining the ball up now in the left hash. Fresno State going for 2.
Winans, the 4th leading receiver in Fresno State history. Outstanding receiver. Reminds me of Henry Ellard. Ellard, who played there. Ellard.
That too.
It's coming in.
Tried to force it in, and it's incomplete. Tried to find Daigle. Dilfer today had his streak of consecutive passes without an interception snapped by Enriquez. They trail by 11.
My husband, the big football coach, well, sure he acts tough, but when he got the flu, I knew he felt it just like the rest of us. Body aches, fever, coughing. So I made sure that he got new Tylenol Flu.
Only new Tylenol Flu has maximum strength medicines and extra strength Tylenol brand pain reliever to fight even your worst flu symptoms.
Tylenol Flu really got him back on his feet.
Nothing fights the flu like new Tylenol Flu.
You know, he may be the coach on the field, but at home, I'm the team doctor.
For everyone working to provide safe haven and a better life for those they love, there is an independent traveler's agent there to help protect what you worked so hard to achieve. For everyone challenged by economic uncertainty, there is a traveler's agent there with a customized plan for your financial future. For everyone in America striving to safeguard a dream, there is a partner. Your independent traveler's agent. The Travelers, America's umbrella.
This is an American car. The Eagle Vision TSI. A unique sports sedan with a 24-valve, 214-horsepower engine, speed-sensitive steering, traction control, even driver and front passenger airbags. And thanks to Eagle Vision, a lot of people who used to buy imports are now deciding to buy American. Now, if you could just do the same for that television you're watching.
Tim, aloha is the easy word. I know you've been working hard all week, practicing, trying to say Happy New Year. You gonna spit it out anytime soon?
I'm saving it for the end.
The man is a well of information. great part about coming over here is learning a lot of the Hawaiian culture and traditions. Polynesian Cultural Center, really something to see. The onside kick, and Colorado says they have it. Mahoney got it to take a nice bounce, but the Buffaloes had their hands team up there. It was recovered by Donnell Liamidi.
They've got it, and that'll just about do it.
Number 3, Donnell Liamidi.
So Aole Maki'io.
Hey,
Happy New Year.
Good job, my man. The Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl most valuable players of the game are number 12, Trent Dilfer from Fresno State. His numbers.
Hold on. They're going to say Fresno State has this ball.
Well, excuse me. Dilfer, though, 33 of 54 for a total of 476 yards, 1 interception, and 2 touchdown passes, and 3 Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl records. For Colorado, Rashaan Salam, 22 rushes, 133 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Here's the onside kick again. Everybody in Colorado said they had it. They actually went off the field after talking to the officials. Fresno State stayed out there and lobbied. Right there, it does look like Colorado got it, but then the wrestling match underneath, and FSU got it.
Let me reiterate, Dilfer and Salam, the respective MVPs, a check in the amount of $1,000 will be donated by Jeep Eagle to each school's general scholarship fund to further assist qualified students to advance their education in all chosen academic fields. Bill McCartney pleading his case right now. .119 to play. The Bulldogs trailing by 11.
McCartney out on the field, still out on the field. They're trying to get him off. Head linesman saying, hey, come on, Bill. Let's finish this thing. Been out here 4 hours. Got a minute 19 to go in this game. Let's get it over with. McCartney's hot.
Fresno State, though, no timeouts remaining. Dilfer looking to add to the Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl record book. And it's incomplete. Stops the clock with 1:12 to play. Ted Johnson right there on the coverage. Let me ask you this about Trent Dilfer, Tim. You've seen Heath Schuler. We've done Tennessee, Alabama this year. You've seen Charlie Ward. Of those 3, who do you rate the top 1?
I'll tell you what, I like Trent Dilfer a lot. I also like Heath Schuler a lot, and I think both will come out. Both are saving their announcements until after the bowls. I think both are coming out and turning pro.
Dilfer to pass. Down to the 41 to Anthony Daigle out of the backfield.
That is not to diminish the talents and the accomplishments of Charlie Ward, a guy I think a great deal of. The Heisman Trophy winner.
Is he too small to play at the professional level?
No, I think he can play anything he wants. He's one of the best athletes I've ever seen. He's a very intelligent guy, and he's a quality guy.
Dilfer stepping up. Complete. Harris couldn't get out of bounds, though. Pardon me, Winans couldn't get out of bounds.
Schuler and Dilfer will both go higher in the draft, though. They're the prototypes, really, at quarterback. I mean, this guy right here is built just like Marino. 230 pounds, 6'4". Heath Schuler's a big guy.
41 seconds to play.
He's about to over 500 yards here. He's got 499 passing already.
Incomplete. Stopping the clock with 37 seconds to go. There's a look at the Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl trophy. Nice piece of hardware.
I wish everyone aloha and Merry Christmas.
The banquet a couple days ago.
Tough to water that flower.
Ball's at the 28. Dilfer overthrows him.
Incomplete. Intended for Lee Harris. Third down.
Been a successful season, though, for Fresno State. We'll end up at 8-4. Colorado at 8-3-1. Don't forget tomorrow, the 3-tour challenge, Wendy's 3-tour challenge, tomorrow at 3 Eastern, 2 Central, and Pacific. Hits Rivers out of the backfield. Rivers down to the 16.
That should be a first down. Move the chains one more time. Stop the clock at 25 seconds. Dilfer now has just gone over 500 yards passing today. There's the 511.
That's a Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl record. Pass complete to Harris to the 5. He did well to hang on to that.
Can't stop the clock, though, except to move the chains, so they'll do that. 9 seconds left. Chains move. They got to get up in a hurry. This is just for stats now.
Nothing wrong with stats. Dilfer into the end zone, and it's broken up by Enriquez, the freshman.
Stop it with 1 second left, so they'll have one play left to try to score. Well, we anticipated a high-scoring game, and we certainly got that today with 71 points.
The Bulldogs will depart for Fresno at 9 o'clock this evening. Colorado leaves tomorrow. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Jack O'Hara. Coordinating producer of ABC's college football is Bob Goodrich, who also gave us great pictures directing today's game. Today's game produced by Jim Ressler. Our technical director, Lanny McKeegan, pardon me. And it's incomplete. Associate Director, Jaime Bravo. Production Manager, Lynn Cadden. Technical Operations Manager, Mel Girardin. Assistants to the producer, Brian Mobilson and Brian Gordon. Our stat man, Roger Riley. Our spotter, Bill Breslin. Our sideline coordinator, Dick Shafter. The final score from Honolulu, 41-30, as Bill McCartney's trip back to Boulder will be very, very pleasant. For Jack Arute and Tim Brent, I'm Mark Jones saying aloha from Honolulu.
ABC Sports coverage of the 1993 Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl brought to you by Jeep and Eagle, a division of the Chrysler Corporation. Sheraton Hotels in Waikiki in celebration of Aloha. New Tylenol Flu. Nothing fights the flu like Tylenol Flu. And Siemens. For leading-edge technologies in electronic and electrical engineering, depend on Siemens precision thinking. Monday night on ABC Sports.